What's up, gang?
Hello, everyone.
I can stop the music. We'll probably start that up again in a little bit, though. We'll see.
The music?
Yeah. Just to have a little bit of, I don't know, background noise while we're playing the board game.
Sure.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, why not?
Anyway.
Hi. Hi guys. What up? Kyle, that facial hair, oh my god. Yeah.
Man, this camera view is disgusting.
It's real bright.
It's real bright.
Why?
Because I tried to do color correction without looking at a person.
Well, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Way to go. That's a little better. I have eyebrows, maybe. I don't know. I have no makeup on and I have very light eyebrows, so they'll probably be invisible.
That's better. We're going to go with that for now. Okay.
Okay. Ooh, board games. You should play. Sorry, that's my favorite board game. Kyle, have you played Grand Blue? No.
No. We might, though, at some point. We'll
Maybe.
see.
Do you want us to? I mean...
Caitlin and I are both in Grand Blue Fantasy.
Hey guys, look, I made this. It's a coaster that I made. Isn't it pretty?
You'll be able to see it on the table here in a little bit.
It has shells and fun things. Ha ha! Sorry, I got really excited. We can see those eyebrows.
So
I like your hair. You like my hair? I've done nothing to my hair in the past 6 months. I want you all to know that. Nothing other than let it grow. I think I'm gonna let it grow like down to like here-ish. My nipples. Sorry.
So
anyway, I'm letting my hair grow longer. Okay.
So the only shout out that we have missed since the last time that I was live, which was for Sea of Thieves about a week ago, was...
I played Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, Caitlin and I played last night. I should have streamed it, and I didn't. We had too many technical difficulties getting started, and then by the time we finally got going, I completely forgot to stream it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I got really mad at Kyle because I was just learning how to do everything, even though I was picking it up really quickly. He does everything like really fast, and so I didn't get to help with a lot of things, and Kyle sucks.
I didn't mean to. What's lagging, gang?
Oh no.
I'm using a different I'm using Streamlabs Open Broadcaster instead of regular OBS. The audio is behind.
No.
Interesting. Okay. Well, let's see if this fixes it.
Wouldn't be Kyle without technical difficulties.
Audio and video are unsynced.
Oh no, that's so annoying.
Well, we'll see if that's any better.
You started subscribership in April last year, nearly 1 year, and still part of this community. Thank you.
Oh, Jay resubbed. Oops.
Thanks, Jay.
I did not mean to grab that.
Oh, look, yeah, see, it's like a little bit off.
Well, that's for us. Oh. For them, the audio and video should be synced. So you said the audio was behind. I've sped it up a little bit, like moved it forward a little bit. Maybe that fixed it. If it didn't, let me know. I have not tested this. I assumed it would behave exactly the same, and it's not.
It's a little better now. Oh, that sucks.
That's weird.
That's so annoying.
Still unsynced.
No. Kyle, fix it.
I don't know how.
Would you catch him, Daddy?
I keep dragging the video around.
Has everybody watched The Irish Family with a Bat? Because if you haven't, you need to.
Maybe...
Catch it, Daddy.
This is the issue.
Daddy, will you catch it?
Not that. Filters.
You're not laughing at the bat.
Let's try that. Wait. No. You said the audio is... The video is behind.
Ah, shit.
That's what I thought it would be. How about now? Maybe that will fix it. All right. Let me read some shout-outs. I said Asune Shoku subscribed 4 days ago. Thank you for doing that, Asune Shoku. Jay just resubscribed for an 11th month and
It's
said...
good now.
Good. Said the message, you started subscribership in April of last year, nearly 1 year, and still proud to be part of this amazing community. Thank you, Kyle and Caitlin, for all you have done and everything you continue to do.
Mwah!
Thank you, Jay. Scenario resubscribed for a 2nd month and said, I am subbed again. Woo!
Woo! Good.
Good. All right. No desync now. Okay, good. Audio's that's good. That means math actually makes sense in this version of OBS.
Cool.
Anyway, so today we are playing a board game called Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective.
We've been playing this. We've played it twice now.
Yes.
Just us. It's been a date night.
Yeah.
For us, but we wanted to share it with you because we suck.
There are something like 11 cases in this game or something like that, and once we've done them all, there's really no replay value because we'll know all the answers if we remember them. If we remember them.
Right.
But that does not make it not worth the money.
The butler did it.
It's a very entertaining game. We have played through the first 2 cases. The first time we played, we were way too thorough. We did solve everything, but we took forever to do it. And in scoring at the end of the game, your score is you lose points for every lead that you follow up on that Sherlock didn't follow up on.
They're not going to understand that right now. Let's just get there in a second.
So anyway,
Yes, it is a board game, not a video game, but it's a board game in the sense that there is physical, tangible stuff, but it's really more of like a listen as Kyle reads different information and try to solve the crime. Basically, you're solving the crime.
It should be fun.
It should be fun, hopefully. So you play as Watson. No, we play as like...
what's our character? You know what? Maybe we should read through the rule book, or not the whole thing, but the part that does the premise.
Are the cases based on the books?
I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. Oh, there are 10 cases.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've read Hound of the Baskervilles. That's about it. I watched the show. Because Benedict Cumberbatch is great. Yes, of course we've watched the BBC Sherlock. Are you kidding me?
We are not Watson. We are...
He's on my list.
We are members of the unofficial gang of the Baker Street Irregulars, founded by Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, so we're like his cronies.
Kinda, yeah. Something like that.
Watson's in it. I'm going to make Kyle read it because Kyle does a way better job than I do.
But we're gonna start by, I think we'll read like this page, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Of the rule book, so that people kind of get a sense for what we're doing, and then we can skip ahead. We could do the lecture, but that's pretty long.
Baker Street Irregulars, so I'm guessing they don't meet regularly. I don't know.
What do you think, Caitlin? Should we read this section too? Remember this part? From the first night we played?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know.
That's gonna take fucking forever, though.
Yeah, I know.
Can't we just summarize it?
I don't even remember what it all says. I think it was mostly...
I don't think it really fucking matters. It was talking about the different informants.
That's right.
That's all.
That's right. Yeah, we don't need that.
Nope. But
we can read this
the
page,
introduction.
and that'll get us going. So,
does this sound fun, you guys?
I think this will be fun.
Are you cool with this? I mean, we're gonna do it anyway.
We're gonna do it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, you can either watch it or not.
Oh,
but we would love it if you guys would actually like pay attention. I'm gonna take notes so that you guys can see it.
But you should take notes too.
You should also take notes and then try to help us solve it.
Yeah.
You don't need to, like, there's no game board that, like, obviously well, you can't see it yet.
They can't see it yet, but they will.
There's a map and stuff like that. I don't look at anything. I make Kyle read everything. So all you need is your mind and your ears. Okay, cool.
I was gonna say, so the first time we've played this twice.
Yeah, grab a notebook.
Our first case, we were exceedingly thorough. We followed up every single lead. It took forever. We did solve the case though.
Right.
Our second attempt, we decided to try and be more efficient, and we went overboard with that.
Right.
So we did not solve
Again, they don't
practically
understand this
anything.
yet. They don't understand this.
So tonight we're going to try and balance that out.
Right.
With your help. So.
He'll read everything. Good approach. Yeah, I know. Well, no, I took the notes. He wouldn't take notes. He just reads and does funny voices.
I'd be terrible at taking notes anyway. So, let's go ahead and get to where you guys can see stuff. And, hey, I tapped that. There we go. There we go.
Woo!
Now you guys can see stuff.
So, this is the map. This is a map of London. turn of the century London, right?
We are, what year is it? 1888?
1888, so
Yeah.
almost turn of the century. And there are a bunch of little numbers all over it. Those are just you follow leads by going to addresses. They stand for addresses, and there are different regions of London. There's southwest, southeast,
West Center.
west center, northwest, and east center. Obviously, that's the Thames, if you're familiar.
The map
Hyde Park. The map is not that important.
is essentially for figuring out how far away things are from each other, because this little thing right here shows how long it takes to walk from place to place. So like from here, this distance on the map, anywhere on the map, is like a 15-minute walk.
Right.
So that's what that
it comes in handy if we're like, would they have had time to get from here to here to kill that person, right? In this amount of time, given the facts that we have. So it's good for measuring
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
To try to figure out who done it. So that's really the most important thing about London, or the map of London, rather. So don't worry about this. This is not really the board game or anything like that. This is just a map to help with that. Cool.
So,
Any way to mirror the map video, the text is backwards.
really?
I guess so.
Oh, because I flipped it vertically, but I didn't flip it horizontally. Haha.
Flip horizontal.
I can't see.
It's right there.
That one. There we go.
Boom.
That should be better.
Shaka.
There we go. Sorry, guys. I could afford to probably move this a little bit more this direction.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, I mean, you're not
That's
gonna
good.
you're not gonna be able to read. We're gonna read the newspaper and stuff like
yeah,
that
we'll
for
read
you.
stuff.
Like I said, you're just gonna be listening.
Yeah, more than anything, it's gonna be a listening exercise, a listening game, I think.
Listening and responding. Like we'll be reading
Yeah.
what you guys have to say.
So, I shall put on my very best English dialect for the reading.
Fabulous.
Yes,
Yes.
quite.
Quite.
Introduction.
Oh God.
Welcome to the streets of London in the Victorian era. The fog is spreading, crime runs rampant, and you, one of the Baker Street irregulars, are here to lead the investigation. In A Study in Scarlet, Watson introduces the Baker Street Secret Police section to us for the first time. This group of half a dozen of the dirtiest and most ragged street urchins that I ever clapped eyes on, under the leadership of Wiggins, was a most precious help to Sherlock Holmes, to whom they were the eyes and ears in the streets of London. As early as 1888, in The Sign of Four, Wiggins had become a young man, and his group of Baker Street irregulars had doubled. They go everywhere, see everything, hear all that is said, declared Holmes. Wiggins had become a vital collaborator to the world's greatest consulting detective. Holmes' career in Baker Street lasted some 22 years. The number of cases he had to solve grew at the same speed as his reputation. After Watson's first marriage, in November 1886, Holmes relied increasingly on the help of the Baker Street irregulars. During the years in which Holmes was absent, from 1892 to 1894, It was Wiggins, who was then attempting to become an actor, who kept Mycroft Holmes informed of the criminal underworld's activities in London. Mycroft, who had frequent contact with his brother, would pass this information on to Sherlock. Wiggins continued to collaborate with Holmes throughout the 1890s and during the first few years of the following century. His talents as an actor, which he had learned mostly from Holmes, helped him move easily through the various layers of London society. Upon Wiggins' death in 1939, his journal, which spoke of the many cases on which he had worked with Holmes, was found. You'll find in this set excerpts from that journal.
I'm going to read Object of the Game.
Very good.
All right. Mostly because I didn't listen to one word you just said.
Okay, good.
Great. Object of the Game. You take on the role of members of the unofficial gang of the Baker Street Irregulars, founded by the famous Sherlock Holmes to keep him informed about the word on the street and help him in mysterious cases. This set contains 10 mysterious cases which will be up to you to solve. For each case, you'll have a series of leads to follow. Leads to follow. That's what we're doing. A map of London, a directory, and the local press. You'll also have a list of informants which contains some very qualified people who will assist you in your research: medical examiner, criminologist, sources, etc. Armed with all these elements and with your imagination, yes, that's right, J, imagination, you'll walk the streets of London looking for clues which will allow you to solve the enigma and answer a series of questions about the case. But nothing's ever as simple as it seems, and you will have to be wise if you don't want to be ridiculed during your final confrontation with Holmes. Will you surpass the master?
Probably not, is the answer to that question.
Nope, probably not.
So that is the...
We probably won't beat Sherlock Holmes.
That is the basic rundown of what this game is.
So the first thing that we're going to do is Kyle's going to read the case file. The case is called The Mystified Murderers. Or Murders, not Murderers. Murderers, right?
Yes. The Mystified Murderess.
Oh, Murderess. Oh,
Murderess.
Just kidding. So it's a chick.
So basically, once we read through the case file...
Which there will be information, so it will be time to start taking notes.
Yes. Then... we're going to take notes of, like, names of people that we want, basically...
So you can't die, you just get teased horribly?
Correct. So, basically, and you don't really get teased. It's just...
At all.
You just feel like an idiot
stupid.
because he's like, well, here's the answer, and you're like, oh.
Right.
Why didn't I know that? But anyway, basically, the way that we investigate is we walk around London and talk to people.
Yep.
Essentially.
Yep.
So we're going to want to take note of who are persons of interest that we need to speak to that might lead us closer to a solution for the cause of whatever happened. Obviously, Mystified Murderess sounds like somebody died.
It's kind of like who, what, where. Like, I usually take notes on any people mentioned, any, like, objects in particular that are mentioned, any places that are mentioned. Those usually will be info that we can go off of to find the next lead. And each lead that we'll read in the book, like, if we're like, okay, I want to, let's say, for lack of a better thing, let's say we were like, oh, there's Hyde Park. They mentioned Hyde Park. That's a place, it's a lead that we want to go to. We would find in the case files the section on Hyde Park, because there would invariably be one. And then we'd read the lead and then continue on. What our objective is to use less leads than Sherlock does, but that's almost impossible.
That's almost impossible. He does like 4.
Right, and they're like 30. So
yeah, the directory will help us find where people are that we can speak to, which tells us what lead to read in here.
Right. We have specific informants that Sherlock's already given us that we can go see.
These are if we get stuck. and we
Right.
we need assistance from somebody who
They're
has a
basically
general
like-
understanding of things.
They're basically like the hint. So
Yeah.
should I read who these people are?
Sure,
Just
why
really
not?
quick. Okay, so this is the list of informants. Hooray! I'll try to hold it so you guys can you see if I just lay it down? Okay. I don't really know if you can.
With
Okay.
a magnifying glass, maybe
Yeah,
they can.
Sir Jasper Meeks, so we can talk to the head medical examiner at St. Bart's. H.R. Murray is a criminologist, so he can analyze all items and substances found during cases. We can go to Scotland Yard, so the police, obviously, represented by Lestrade and Gregson. They have reports and details relating to the case. Disraeli O'Brien, an archivist with the Office of National Archives. So he has legal and criminal records. We can go to Somerset House, records of birth, death, marriages, and wills. Edward Hall, lawyer at the Old Bailey Court, has information on court cases and legal affairs. Porky Shinwell is an owner of the Raven and Rat Pub, source of information on all illegal affairs and underworld figures. Fred Porlock is a member of the criminal underground, so he leaves coded information about the activities of Moriarty, which Moriarty doesn't always have something to do with it.
So far, he hasn't
Yeah.
popped his head up, but that doesn't
For
mean
those
he
of you
won't
who
be
don't
involved in this
know,
one.
Moriarty, he's like Sherlock Holmes' arch nemesis, right?
Yeah.
Basically in the books.
Yeah.
Henry Ellis is a reporter for the London Times, so he's a source of information on current events, mainly on foreign affairs. Quinton Hogg is a reporter for the Police Gazette, info for criminal cases. Mycroft Holmes, so we can see Sherlock's brother. He mostly has information on all things relating to politics and government. Langdale Pike is a social columnist, knows all of London society gossip. Central Carriage Depot is a meeting point for London cab drivers. So if somebody took a cab or whatever, we can talk to them to see, to verify alibis and things like that. Lomax is a librarian at the London Library to be consulted for any encyclopedic research. And then obviously you can go to Sherlock Holmes if you need a hint. And he will know the case, obviously. So those are, and I don't expect you guys to remember all of those, but those are the informants. So know that we have those at our disposal as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
People are commenting on the mustache. No, this is not for anything specific. It's just, I don't know,
Right.
trying something new.
Right. Okay.
Well, shall we get started?
Yeah. Does this all make sense, you guys? Mustache.
Mustache!
They're not even listening. You didn't even listen to me.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Jay.
Thanks, Jay. All right.
There are bitches and dudes we can talk to.
Yeah.
Cool? Actually, there are no bitches. There are only dudes. Okay.
Are none of those people women?
No, of course not. It's 1888
They're not.
in England.
That's sexist.
It's cool. I'm here.
All right, here we go. Case 3. The Mystified Murderess. July 4th, 1888. At 221B Baker Street, we find Holmes, just as Dr. Watson's note had described him. Listless, unresponsive, oblivious to all around him. "He has not resorted to the needle as yet," whispers Watson. "My plan may keep him from it," indicating the newspaper clippings in his hand. "A tightrope walker at the Royal Italian Circus fell to his death. Foul play suspected. What do you think, Holmes?" No answer. "Society burglar strikes again. A series of burglaries. 6 such over the period June 2nd to June 17th. On July 1st, the 7th occurred at the home of Sir Sanford Leeds. As in the others, no sign of extensive search by the thief,
and only one piece of jewellery involved. Victims elsewhere at the time. Here's a complete list of the particulars, Holmes, if you'd care to read it.
Silence.
Here's a puzzle. A hansom picked up a fare at its regular stand.
What the hell is a hansom? Hansom. I don't know what that is.
A hansom picked up a fare at its regular stand. The passenger spoke up when he realized
Wait,
that...
can I verify something? So
Yeah.
6 burglaries have happened?
Yes. Sorry, 7 burglaries. There were 6 from June 2nd to June 17th, and on July 1st, there was a 7th one.
To June 17th?
Yeah.
And on July 1st?
A 7th one that matches the same MO.
A hansom picked up a fare at its regular stand. The passenger spoke up when he realized that they were heading in the wrong direction, but got no answer. Oh my. The cabbie was dead, still sitting upright in his seat, a knife in his back. Bobby managed to halt the vehicle. Around the cabbie's neck was a pouch containing 30 Roman coins, denarii.
The stupid fools, exclaims Holmes. If they had allowed the horse to proceed, it would have led them to the scene of the crime. Let me see that, Watson. Watson hands him the clipping and casts a self-satisfied smile in our direction. As Holmes, his enthusiasm restored, occupies himself with the clipping, the doorbell rings.
I beg you for your help, Mr. Holmes.
Entreats a tall, bespectacled young man, identifying himself as Gerald Locke.
3 days ago, Guy Clarendon was found murdered at Halliday's. It's preposterous, but Miss Frances Nolan has been charged and is being detained at Old Bailey.
I was just about to bring the matter to your attention, Holmes,
says Watson, waving another clipping.
I cannot believe that she is capable of murder, even of such a scoundrel as Guy Clarendon.
Scoundrel?
Asks Watson.
I've only heard very good things about the younger Clarendon. Scion of a wealthy family, an accomplished batsman for the West London Cricketers, a ranked fencer in international competition.
He was a bounder, very fond of cards and strong drink, and he associated with some rather low East End types. His father had all but disinherited him. I tried to warn Frances that he was only after her money, but to no avail.
Frances and Loretta Nolan. Frances and Loretta Nolan, says Holmes, suddenly stirring to life. The surviving heirs of Sir Malcolm Nolan, founder of the Aberdeen Navigation Company. Sir Malcolm and Lady Nolan were killed when an avowed anarchist, one Zagreb Jablinski, threw a bomb into their carriage, mistakenly thinking it carried the Duke of York. Loretta Nolan, aged 4 or 5 at the time, was also in the carriage. Miraculously, she was uninjured. Yes, the gory details of the assassination, as well as those of the disposition of a considerable estate, were well documented in the newspapers. Mr. Locke, you are the suitor for Miss Nolan's hand, are you not?
Yes,
he admits. Why was Miss Nolan charged with the murder?
Well...
Locke hesitates. He seems very uncomfortable and removes his spectacles, wiping them as a cover for his distress. Finally, in a low, resigned voice, he answers,
She was discovered over the body with a pistol in her hand.
Holmes nods, takes up the clipping of the cabbie's death again, and turns a deaf ear to Locke's renewed protestations of Miss Nolan's innocence. I'm sorry, Mr. Locke, he says finally, cutting him off, but I cannot personally take your case. Another very pressing matter has come to my attention. He goes to retrieve his hat, adding, "You can rest assured, however, that I could not leave you in better hands." And then he is gone.
Well, Mr. Locke,
Sputters Dr. Watson.
you must excuse... that is, as Holmes suggested, we will spare no pains to get at the truth. You have nothing to worry about.
I'm sure I don't.
Says Locke, sounding rather unconvinced.
Fuck. Okay.
Does that mean we
what?
have 2 cases to solve? I think we have 2 cases to solve here. The cabbie and this thing with the murderess.
Zagrabioblin. So, cab driver found with a knife in his back. With 30 Roman coins.
Denarii. D-E-N-A-R-I-I.
Okay. And, sorry, you kind of lost me.
That's okay. Ask for clarification. I'm sure if I lost you, I lost other people.
They're almost positive Locke is the killer. Okay. And then what was the second? So, sorry, I got really confused. I thought he was like, "Hey, Holmes, here are a bunch of newspaper
that's what was happening.
titles." Okay.
Watson was trying to get Holmes out of a funk
Right, okay.
by trying to get his attention with newspaper clippings.
Okay.
He came to the one about the cabbie who picked up a fare at its regular stand.
Okay.
The passenger spoke up because they were heading in the wrong direction, and it was revealed that the cab driver was dead, had a knife in his back. A bobby, which I believe is a police officer,
Yeah.
stopped the vehicle, and the cabbie had a pouch hanging around his neck with 30 Roman coins in the pouch.
As in, like, Judas selling out
Maybe.
Jesus for 30.
Maybe.
I mean, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Or was it?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
30.
I don't know. I don't remember, honey.
Would using Google to find out the conversion rate of British pounds to denarii in the late
30 pieces
Pieces
of
of
silver.
silver.
That's what I thought. But that was
But still, the
Roman.
number.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
denarii or silver. Who knows? Anyway,
Still, I mean,
So
it's
that-
interesting.
that was the case that got Holmes's attention. Then Gerald Locke walked in the door
Right, Gerald
with a different
Locke.
case entirely.
Okay, Locke with an E.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guy Clarendon, G-U-I,
Right.
Clarendon was
G-U-Y.
G-U-I, Guy or Guy, I'm not
yeah,
sure.
Clarendon was killed.
Was found murdered at Halliday's.
What is Halliday's?
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably a hotel or a restaurant or a theater or something.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, so Guy Clarendon, or Guy. I think it's Guy.
Guy.
Guy Clarendon.
Unless he was French, then it would be
No,
Guy, but
because
yeah.
Clarendon doesn't sound French.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so he was found at Halliday's and he was shot? Because they say somebody was standing over him, right? With a
Well,
pistol?
Frances Nolan has been charged with the murder because she was
Standing. Okay, wait. Let's.
discovered over the body with a pistol in her hand.
Okay, wait. What do we know? Let's start with Guy though. So what do we know about Guy? He was a batsman.
For the West London Cricketers, a ranked fencer in international competition.
Send in cricketers.
Very fond of cards and drinking.
Fencer. Drinker.
Gambler. Or poker player, anyway.
Gambler. Cards. Okay. What's happening? Unfortunately, Twitch wants to be oh, good night, Blue.
Good night, Blue. Let's see. He was the scion of a wealthy family as well.
What does scion mean?
I don't know. Francis and Loretta Nolan.
Does that mean that he stood to inherit?
Maybe.
His father had all but disinherited him.
Ah, yeah.
I tried to warn Francis that he was only after her money, but to no avail, so he was...
So...
Dad.
Does that mean that Francis
After-
was engaged to him or something? Or dating him? I'm not sure. A scion is just the child of a wealthy person, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thanks, Jay. I tried to warn Francis that he was only after her money, but to no avail. Francis and Loretta Nolan, the surviving heirs of Sir Malcolm Nolan, founder of the Aberdeen Navigation Company. Sir Malcolm and Lady Nolan were killed when Zagreb Jablinski threw a bomb into their carriage, thinking the Duke of York was inside.
Daughters to Malcolm Nolan, Malcolm and wife killed by bombing.
I'm looking. I don't see any.
By Zagreb
Jablinski
and they owned the Aberdeen
Navigation Company.
Okay.
Loretta Nolan was 4 or 5 at the time. She was also in the carriage, but somehow she was uninjured. Mr. Locke, you are the suitor for Miss Nolan's hand, are you not?
Which one?
Good question.
Loretta?
That is not specific. Because he
Either
was
for money or hate.
just talking about Loretta before he asked, you are the suitor for Miss Nolan's hand, are you not? He says yes, and then he says, why was Miss Nolan charged with the murder?
Which is Francis.
Which is Francis.
So Locke
I'm sure that'll be clarified
engaged
as soon as we start asking questions.
to Francis. Which leads me, if that's the case, and he was like, oh, he's only after you for your money, then that gives him motive. Locke, I mean.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know. So what about... And Francis...
We also did not get specifics on how
charged
Clarendon
with-
died. All we know is that Francis was found with a pistol in her hand over his body. But if he didn't die to a pistol wound, you know, that's not specified.
Right. Well, we didn't... Yeah, okay.
Okay. That is...
So, and Francis and Loretta Nolan made Sherlock go, hey, I have to peace out and do something.
So he says, why was Miss Nolan charged with the murder? Locke says she was discovered over the body with a pistol in her hand. Then Holmes takes up the newspaper clipping of the cabbie's death again.
Oh.
And starts ignoring Locke. And then says, I'm sorry, I can't personally take your case. Something else has come to my attention. I'm going to leave you in the hands of Watson and the Baker Street Irregulars. And he leaves to go work on the cabbie's case.
Okay.
Locke is not engaged. Suitors are courting until official engagement is approved by the families. So maybe Locke is another suitor in addition to Clarendon for Francis.
Okay.
Thank you, Lalzarst, for the assistance. Okay. That's all the information that we got from the case.
Yeah.
Let's look at the newspaper.
Okay. I'm pretty sure the cab driver is related to...
Quite likely.
So we're
So this
looking
is-
for who really killed Guy.
This is
and
the
who
same
really killed the cab
newspaper
driver.
that he was that Watson was shoving in Holmes's face too. I think.
Say what?
I think this is the same newspaper that Watson was shoving in Holmes's face.
Oh, okay. To our concern, and he cast down the pieces of silver and went and hanged himself. Oh,
J.M. to all concerned. What is Moriarty's first name? I can't remember.
What's the dude's name that was killed again? Guy Clarendon. Guyclarendon. I have it.
James Moriarty. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Haha.
J.M. to all concerned, and he cast down the pieces of silver and went and hanged himself. Matthew 27:5. Well, sounds like Moriarty might have something to do with the cabbie's death.
Yeah.
That says to me that we should probably visit Fred Porlock, the member of the criminal underworld.
What's his name? Fred.
Porlock. That's our informant.
About Moriarty.
On Moriarty, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Should we read this aloud?
I'm kind of skimming through it to look
Yeah.
for
Anything? Well,
anything
that's why I
that
was
might
like,
be
"This is the
useful.
silver."
Yeah. Cricket equipment of all makes and uses. Probably not useful. Society burglar still at large. After a month of jewelry burglaries from some of London's most fashionable homes, Scotland Yard reports little progress in the identification and apprehension of the so-called society burglar. The victim of the latest theft, Lady Leeds, has become so overwrought by the invasion of her bedroom by this unknown man and by the loss of her prized diamond tiara that she has been hospitalized at the suggestion of her physician. What? Although any impetus to attack the increasing problem of crime should be welcomed, it is unfortunate that impetus comes more strongly when the class of victims is expanded. To the editor of the Times. Sir, surely it is time that some effectual steps should be taken to curb the ambition of our burglars, be they society or not, and, if necessary, by legislation. Prevention is better than cure, and I agree with those who think that a fox terrier in the house is the best means of giving the alarm. But something more than a dog is required. I would suggest the cat, besides penal servitude, in all cases of burglary, whether the burglars succeed in carrying away anything or not. The cat, in the sense in which I refer to it, has been most successful as a deterrent in case of personal robbery with violence and other crimes. Why should it not at once be applied to our burglars, whose calling necessarily involves personal violence? Your obedient servant, H.T.B.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't think anything else on this page is particularly useful.
In answer to your question, there's a newspaper there's a newspaper for each case. We have previous ones from the first two that we tried to solve.
The possibility is out there that stuff in previous newspapers
Could be
relevant.
right.
There's another thing on the Society burglar talking about who he's stolen what from.
Is Leeds gonna be big in case I should make a quick note?
No idea. Do. A couple more notes, like letters to the editor. I don't see anything about that, the Cabbie murder in here. That's a little bizarre. Also, wasn't there another case that Watson tried to get Holmes's attention with? The Society burglar. The tightrope walker.
Oh, Sir Sandford Leeds. That's what they were asking about. We don't. I don't know if the Society burglar is going to be.
That'll probably be a bonus question if it's anything. It's not going to matter in terms of the main cases that we're dealing with.
What was the info on the cricket advert?
Cricket equipment of all makes and uses, the supplier to professionals and day trippers alike. Howell and James, 5, 7, and 9 Regent Street, London. Open evenings. Catalog available upon request.
I mean, they might know or have known Guy Clarendon.
Yeah.
He is part of the West London Cricketers.
Yeah.
So, what was that called?
Howell and James. A guy who died falling off his horse.
What about the
African fever.
the guns? I mean, she was found with a pistol.
Secondhand sporting guns. 12-bore, double-barrel, top lever, rebounding locks, good as new. Cost £10, 10 shillings. Our price. £3, 5 shillings. Elays or Kynox cartridges. 8 shillings per 100. Gem air guns, 19 shillings. 6D. What would a D be? I don't know. Army revolvers, rifles, etc., and 1/3 original price. Catalogs of 27 guns gratis. S. Goff, 28 King Street, Covent Garden. I don't know. I think the only thing that might have been of relevance there is the fact that there are guns available for sale from S. Goff
But
at
we wanna
28
know-
King Street.
Lolzar said, need to know the owner of the gun.
Yeah, whoever owns... Whose gun was she holding? We might be able to find out by talking to her.
Isn't it a second hand? Gun salesman might know who bought the gun. Yeah.
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 Yeah, that is a possibility.
I mean, are we just like not going to focus on the burglaries? Because
I don't know. I guess I could read this article. Society burglar take climbs to 14,000 pounds. That elusive and so far successful burglar, commonly known as the society burglar, has gotten away with jewels valued at 14,000 pounds by the 7 victims to date. Speculation continues as to the identity of the burglar, who seems to be acquainted with the various and sometimes ingenious hiding places of his victims' jewels. The other striking aspects of the modus operandi are the taking of only one select piece each time, and the occurrence of all thefts when the victims are not at home. We have provided for the interest of our readers a list of the various jewels stolen and their values.
And then there's just a bunch of names, and Leeds is one of them, obviously.
Yep. Somebody who died getting struck by lightning. The body of Klaus Wallenden, the high-wire artist who fell to his death during a performance at the Royal Italian Circus last week, was put aboard the SS Hamburg yesterday, bound for his native Germany for burial. Wallenden had long enjoyed the acclaim of the world for his tightrope acrobatics. The usually sure-footed Wallenden's inexplicable fall resulted in the aerial wonder's tragic death when the waiting net gave way.
For the record, the robbery and the murders are separate. Yes, they are. That's what I mean. But as far as we know, see, that's why I'm like, wait a minute, are the robberies going to have something to do with the murder? I'm thinking that the cab driver who was found dead with the 30 Roman coins is going to be related to Moriarty, and potentially
you think it's gonna be related to
even Guy Clarendon. Yeah, because if it has to do with love at all, or betrayal, that's what the 30 pieces of silver signifies.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the cab driver was, and he was stabbed in the back, even further a metaphor for betrayal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whether or not the cab driver was actually involved or Moriarty just used him as a like art installation.
Yeah.
Clue for
hey,
Sherlock.
Our donation and thing stuff should probably be up here instead of.
Oh, whoops. Our bad.
Sub hype.
The stab was in the back. Yeah. What?
Taro. That's one of my buddies from Zealot Hockey Days just subscribed.
Oh, cool.
Thanks, buddy. And Mushu's subscribed. Thank you.
Cool.
Guys.
Okay.
I
think he was found at Halliday's. So.
I'm going to read this letter to the editor. I have no idea if it's going to be of value. I don't know what it is, but it's long.
Okay.
Sir, will you allow me to ask a question of your correspondents who want to disperse the vicious inhabitants of Flower and Dorset streets? There are no lower streets in London, and if they are driven out of these, where are they to go? The horror and excitement caused by the murder of the Whitechapel outcasts imply a universal belief that they had a right to life. If they had, then they had the further right to hire shelter from the bitterness of the English night. If they had no such right, then it was on the whole a good thing that they fell in with unknown surgical genius. He has made his contribution towards solving the problem of clearing the East End of its vicious inhabitants. The typical Annie Chapman will always find someone in London town to let her have a doss for a consideration.
If she is systematically dispersed, 2 results will follow. She will carry her taint to streets hitherto untamed, and she will be mulcted in larger sums than before for the accommodation. The price of a doss will rise from 8d to 10d, or a shilling, the extra pennies representing an insurance fund against prosecution and disturbance. Are these the sort of results that the Reverend Vincent Shelby is working for? If vestries seem apathetic in the matter of systematic dispersal, it often is because they know that the demand for action is merely an astute maneuver on the part of a housemonger who is anxious that the property should become purchasable at a fair price. E.P. Dowd. Probably not useful.
Nope.
I skimmed through that other one, which is much shorter. It doesn't look particularly useful. Houses, etc., to be let and sold. Yeah, I don't see anything about the Cabbie in here, which is weird.
Brewery wanted to purchase. He liked drinking. He liked drinking and gambling, so we should talk to the informant that has to do with the, like, illegal affairs and underworld figures. Maybe Porky Shinwell.
Porky Shinwell, owner of the Raven and Rat Pub. Yeah, maybe. I think we ought to go either to the scene of the crime or to interrogate Francis before we do anything else. Wouldn't you think?
I think we should, okay, there's a couple of things that I think we should do. I think we should visit the Central Carriage Depot to see who the cab driver was.
Well, remember, our main case
You're right, is Guy.
is Guy Clarendon.
I get that. I'm just saying.
The Cabbie
I'm just saying.
is Sherlock's case.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm just saying we don't know if the two were related.
They probably are.
So, yeah, they probably are. And we know that Moriarty is somebody to also. Sorry, I'm highlighting the leads. So Holidays is where Guy was found.
Hallidays.
Holidays, yeah. We should also talk to Francis and or Loretta Nolan.
I think we need to talk to Francis for sure.
Aberdeen Navigation Company. I don't know if that would have any. That's what Francis and Loretta's parents owned that.
Should we start at Hallidays? It's a hotel.
How do you guys feel about that, starting at Hallidays?
Yeah, fishing's dead, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened to it. It's not responding. Let's start at the hotel at Hallidays.
Okay, so our first lead.
Hallidays Private Hotel, 15 Southwest. Which...
So 15, so just so you know, you guys, so 15 Southwest we would find on...
Oh boy.
Yeah, so newspaper's over there.
Yeah. 15 Southwest.
Is right
somewhere
there.
in
Holidays Hotel is right here. That's not important until we need to know
How long it takes
to get from one place to another. But that's where the southwest corner is.
All right. Ready?
Hold on.
I'm holding.
Hallidays was the crime scene.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
We leave the manager's office at Halliday's private hotel, knowing little more than we did when we entered. He's too upset over the police quarantine of Clarendon's room to be of much help. Fortunately, the day clerk is a much less excitable fellow. The gentleman registered under the name of Clarence Guy on the 29th of May. He was given a front room on the 3rd floor. 2 days later, he asked to be moved to suite 205. During his stay here, he had only 2 visitors that I am aware of. One was a most disagreeable chap. He was very large, had a thick walrus moustache, and a prominent scar down his cheek. He arrived on the 1st of June, the very day of Mr. Guy's, that is, Mr. Clarendon's move. He simply came in, sat down in the lobby, and waited. I kept an eye on him, but I must admit I was reluctant to ask him his business. 20 minutes or so later, Mr. Clarendon came down from his room. As he passed, the big man yanked him aside. I'm sure I detected fear on Mr. Clarendon's face, and was about to send one of the boys for a bobby when Mr. Clarendon signed me that all was well. After a few minutes of conversation, they left together. I never saw the man again. His other visitor, who came by quite frequently, was a very striking woman. She was quite fashionably dressed, and she had a most distinctive laugh, very full and deep. I have no idea who she was.
Tell us about the morning of July 2nd.
It was about 9 o'clock when a woman entered. She was rather plain-looking, and I would not have noticed her but for the fact that she came in the front door, looking neither left nor right, and proceeded directly to the staircase. Normally, non-residents are not allowed to pass without first stopping at the desk. I was on my way to intercept the woman when I was buttonholed by Mr. Ramsay. He's a guest of long residence, and a chronic complainer, and he would not let me go. It couldn't have been 30 seconds later when there was a woman's scream. I dashed up the stairs to the 2nd floor, where the hallway was full of inquisitive guests. They directed my attention to room 205, and said they heard a faint bang before the scream. Then I found the body of Mr. Clarendon and the aforementioned woman. She was lying in a swoon in the centre of the room with a smoking pistol in her hand. I revived her with some whiskey found in the room. When she came to, she was totally disoriented. She had no idea where she was or what she had done. When she saw Clarendon's body, she gave out a small cry and let go of her pistol as if it were red hot. I took her to a nearby vacant room and had the police summoned.
At our request, the clerk calls a sleepy bellboy to show us the suite. On our way to the room, we discover that the lad has just shifted to day duty after working nights. Inquiring further, we learned that the front doors are locked at 10 p.m., so that any guests or visitors must be let in by the night staff. Clarendon, leading a most exemplary life, was always in his rooms before 10. The constable on guard lets us into the 2-room suite and oversees our tour. The sitting-room walls are papered in a subdued floral pattern. The ceiling is covered with yellow plaster. The constable indicates the entryway to the bedroom as the place where the body was found. There is some blood on the carpet. A larger stain had apparently been made by the spilled contents of a shattered wine glass lying nearby. In the centre of the sitting room, some 15 feet away, are small flecks of yellow plaster. A search of the sitting room yields nothing much in the way of personal items. In the top desk drawer, however, we find a folded bank statement from Cox's. Exhibit A. Looks like June 1888, Mr. Guy Clarendon, withdrawals, £5,000, June 1st, deposits, $2,000 on June 16th, $500 on June 18th. We wander into the bedroom. In the closets, there are but 2 shirts and 3 pairs of shoes. One of them a pair of canvas fencing shoes dyed black.
In the dresser, there is the usual assortment of underwear and shirts. Loosely tossed in the top drawer is a black wool sweater and a pair of black trousers. Not much of a view, comments Wiggins, looking out of the open bedroom window. The brick wall of the building across the alley is dreary indeed. Even the ivy vines which wind up the trellis and cover the back wall of Halliday's are dusty and cheerless. Getting into the corridor of the hotel, a maid is being lectured by a man with a scathing and nasty attitude who lets out a wave of reproaches.
And you should know, miss, that I will talk about it to the manager. Such an offhandedness in a first-class establishment is totally unacceptable.
Yes, Mr. Ramsay. Very well, Mr. Ramsay.
We slip away.
Shit. That's a lot of stuff.
A lot of information.
These bank statements don't have to do with the robberies, do they? Sorry.
Let's take a look.
But there were a list of dates, so June 2nd.
I think the deposits would be the most interesting ones.
Yeah.
June 16th, he deposited £2,000. June 18th, he deposited 500. So, unless he was selling things
Very quickly.
at a reduced price, which is possible. June 15th,
No, the
diamond
robberies
necklace
were
of
about
3,000.
gems. Yeah, you're right.
It's not really his area of expertise
They
either.
could have been sold for money, it's true.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like he would have had to have been selling those diamonds very quickly at a reduced price. Because on June 15th, there was a diamond necklace stolen worth £3,000. The very next day, he made a deposit of $2,000.
He has a whole lot of black clothing.
That's true.
I'm wondering if
Maybe he is the burglar.
Yeah. He has, in the closet, there are 2 shirts and 3 pairs of shoes. One of them a pair of canvas fencing shoes dyed black, specifically. In the dresser is the usual assortment of underwear and shirts. Loosely tossed in the top drawer is a black wool sweater and a pair of black trousers.
That's true. Maybe he is the burglar. Or was. Let's see, the last robbery was on the 1st of July.
And think about it, he has no money. He's been disinherited, and he likes to gamble. And he's a suitor of Frances, but he's not engaged to her. Right, yeah. Fencing shoes are light and quiet. True.
Unlike most men's shoes of the era, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Maybe. Not much to go on there, but it's a possibility.
So there's someone he was probably working for to get the money that fast. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he was making deposits the next day
Right.
for a little bit less. Also, hold on.
So he was stealing the jewelry.
I don't know if I'm convinced, though, because
Could have been stealing the
Look.
jewelry, giving it to a person. What?
June 2nd, 5th, 8th, and 11th, there were also robberies. No deposits on any of those dates. It's not until... Oh, and it's not until the 15th that we have something that lines up. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I have to pee. Talk to the chat.
What are you guys thinking so far? I can't move on without Caitlin because she's the note taker. I can't handle it. How much were the other things worth? Okay, I can tell you that. Let's see. June 2nd, a diamond stick pin was stolen that was worth 500 pounds. June 5th, an emerald bracelet worth 1,500 pounds. June 8th, a diamond bracelet worth 2,000 pounds. June 11th, ruby earrings worth 1,000 pounds. Then we have on June 15th, a diamond necklace worth 3,000 pounds. The very next day, he had a deposit of 2,000. June 17th, a diamond pendant was stolen worth 1,000 pounds. The very next day, he had a deposit of 500 pounds. And July 1st, the diamond tiara worth 5,000 was stolen.
I also need to feed Simon Cat.
Okay. Are these all women's jewelry? I think so. Partner is pocketing the rest, smart enough not to leave a paper trail. My only thing is that if there were more deposits that lined up with the robberies, I'd be with you guys. But he only had deposits on 2 days that sort of kind of correspond with robberies. And there were 6 total robberies in the month of June. When did the tiara go missing? July 1st. And this is a deposit slip from, or a transaction history from June. So it makes sense that that one wouldn't be there. But there are 4 others that are unaccounted for if he was the thief. It is a little suspicious that he has all black clothes. I'll give you guys that. Francis would have known what to steal and where women would have hid their jewelry. That's possible. Repeat the cost value of each stolen item. You got it, Delta. June 2nd, diamond stick pin, 500 pounds. June 5th, emerald bracelet, 1,500 pounds. June 8th, diamond bracelet, 2,000 pounds. June 11th, ruby earrings, 1,000 pounds. June 15th, diamond necklace, 3,000 pounds. June 17th, diamond pendant, 1,000 pounds. And July 1st, the diamond tiara, worth 5,000 pounds. And no, Jay, there was no deposit after that one. But that one was July 1st, and this transaction history is for June 1888. So he wouldn't have had money right away.
Sorry, the cat was really mad at me.
If we're really curious, though, we could probably go to Cox's, the bank, and see if there's any more information we can get from them. I don't want to get too keyed in on this whole cat burglar possibility, though, because we are trying to figure out who killed him. I still want to talk to Frances. I don't know how we do that. You'd think she's in custody somewhere. We could talk to her sister, though, Loretta.
Why can't we go to the police? And
Maybe we can. I don't know.
well, isn't that where Francis would be?
We could go to Scotland Yard and see if she's there. I don't want to go burning through leads too much, but
Well, can we just talk about, so there was a woman
The
Tell you
deposit.
about his guests really quick. So first of all,
There was the guy.
well, no, first of all, he checked in on the 29th of May.
Right.
He was in a front room on the 3rd floor.
And he was not under his own name. He was under a false name, Clarence Guy, instead of Guy Clarendon.
Okay. And then he was moved to Suite 205.
Yeah.
Why? First guest was a large man with a walrus mustache and a scar.
Yeah.
He was super unfavorable to the desk clerk, so he was just like, "Buh."
Yeah.
Clarendon was scared of him.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a woman, fashionable, deep, full laugh. Then, and also Mr. Ramsey is super cranky and probably means nothing, but like he's also like intercepted the desk clerk on 2 different
Yeah.
times. The plain woman obviously was Frances. There was a scream before the bang. If she had premeditated the murder, she wouldn't... she probably wouldn't have tried to... She would have tried to be quiet,
Yeah.
right? And if there was a scream before the bang, something was happening with them that scared her. Also, she
Yeah.
fainted. For somebody who wanted to commit murder, that would be
Right.
weird. There was a shattered wine glass. What's that about? Also, small flecks of yellow plaster about 15 feet away.
So she probably shot the ceiling or something. Or the wall, you know?
Yeah. Do we know anything about Guy's body besides him being dead? Oh, if she screamed before the bang, what if she was being attacked? Yeah, that's what I'm
that's
saying.
kind of what I'm thinking.
And she wouldn't, like I said, she wouldn't have fainted.
Whoever killed him maybe was still there. And she
Small
tried to...
flecks of yellow plaster were on the floor, 15 feet away. Or she could have been using her sex as a defense, like screaming to confuse people, then shooting him. Yeah, I thought about that too, Jay, but I don't know. We haven't talked to her yet, though. And if she's really a plain woman, like, not to be an asshole.
Was she plain?
That's what that was how he described her.
That's how this guy described her. That's
yeah,
right.
she was a plain woman. Like, I don't know that she'd be like, I'm real sexy, so boom. Oh, no, I get using her sex. Like, she's a female, so she's screaming. So, yeah, I get that. But, scream between parties, but she was maybe involved and got set up as a scapegoat, maybe. Did they mention anything about the ceiling getting a hole from a gunfire? Yeah. So maybe the ceiling? I don't know.
They didn't... They might not have been looking, though. The ceiling is covered with yellow plaster. The constable indicates the entryway to the bedroom as the place where the body was found. There's blood on the carpet. A larger stain had been made by the spilled contents of a shattered wine glass lying nearby. In the center of the sitting room, 15 feet away, are small flecks of yellow plaster.
He was always in his room before 10 p.m., which is kind of weird for a gambler, drinker type, right?
Yeah.
At our request, the clerk calls a sleepy bellboy to show us the suite. On our way to the room, we discovered that the lad had just shifted to day duty after working nights. Inquiring further, we learned that the front doors are locked at 10 p.m., so that any guests or visitors must be let in by the night staff. Clarendon, leading a most exemplary life, was always in his rooms before 10.
Yeah.
I still want to know where the fat guy went. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, the fat guy left with him, right? The one time that he came and visited.
Yeah. I'm thinking
Sounds like the plaster is fresh and hiding a bullet hole. Maybe.
That's possible. I'm thinking we need to go see Frances.
I don't know where we find her. I mean, we can try the...
I'm thinking Scotland Yard.
We can try Scotland
If she's
Yard.
been arrested, then she would be at Scotland Yard.
Just usually Scotland Yard is talking to Lestrade about the case as opposed to talking about... Or talking to...
Yeah, but if she's in custody, she'd be there.
Unless there's... Wait, Old Bailey. Didn't they mention something about Old Bailey in the case?
Old Bailey.
Police stations in the directory. There's several different ones, Old Bailey included.
Okay.
She's being... Yeah. Miss Frances Nolan has been charged and is being detained at Old Bailey.
Oh, there we go.
So that's where we need to go, not to Scotland Yard.
Good thing we didn't waste a lead.
Yeah. 36 East Center.
God damn it. Son of a bitch.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah. Oh, wait, no. Yes.
Our interview with Edward Hall is very short. He knows little of the Clarendon murder, but with his connections, he is able to arrange an interview with Frances Nolan. Confined in a drab holding cell at the criminal court, Old Bailey, she is the picture of misery. Her eyes, her most attractive feature in an otherwise plain face, hold a great deal of confusion and disbelief at her present situation.
I don't remember anything, except seeing Guy's body across the room, and the pistol in my hand. I screamed, and I must have fainted. I didn't even know that he was at Halliday's, and I've never been there before. And why would I shoot him? We loved each other. We planned on getting married next year. His father promised him that he would get the Church of Canterbury for our wedding.
Wiggins goes to her to calm her down. Now let's take it one step at a time. What is the last thing you remember before the room at Halliday's?
Going to bed the night before. On Sunday evenings, Dr. Trevelyan dines with me at my home. My sister Loretta is under his care, and these weekly meetings involve her progress.
Dr.
Trevelyan.
Oh. God damn it. Dr. Trevelyan.
Velyan.
Dr. Trevelyan, he does hypnotherapy, right? She was hypnotized.
Dr. Trevelyan does hypnotherapy?
That's what I think. Keep reading. I don't know.
Okay.
My sister Loretta is under his care, and these weekly meetings involve her progress. Well,
Weekly meetings when?
Sunday evenings.
Okay. You realize you have to read slower because I'm trying to write. And I'm not getting all I'm not
sorry.
getting all the information,
I'm
and that
sorry.
means that they're not either. So
I'm sorry.
I know that you're like really good at acting, but
I'm just
Chill.
trying to read it. That's all I'm trying to do.
cool. Keep going.
Well, the doctor and I have become friends over the years. Dr. Trevelyan left at 10 o'clock. At 11, my maid, Grace, prepared a cup of cocoa for me. I drank it and read in bed for a short time, then went to sleep.
How long have you known Guy Clarendon?
I first met him at the country estate of Cornelius Oldwine in March.
First met him at the...
Country estate of Cornelius Oldwine in March.
There was a party of some sort. and my sister climbed a 15-foot fountain and dived in. She caught pneumonia, and I had to go fetch her home. Guy was at the estate.
And he immediately began paying court to you?
No, in fact, he didn't seem to notice me. I was quite surprised some weeks later when he came. It was a lovely afternoon, May 10th. He apologized for his impertinence at coming without an appointment and asked permission to come back again. We began seeing a good deal of each other, went for carriage rides, picnic lunches. He declared his love for me and asked my hand in marriage.
How were your provisions concerning your and your sister's inheritance in case of... let's say in case of incapacitation?
I am the legal guardian of Loretta. In case something happens to me, our solicitor, Hiram Davenport, will manage our affairs.
How do you spell Hiram?
Hiram.
H-I-R.
A-M.
Davenport?
Yeah.
Is their lawyer.
Their solicitor.
I know what a solicitor is.
Well, there's different kinds of lawyers.
I know that.
Solicitors
but
and barristers.
Whatever. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
As it was when we were children.
How do you explain your presence at Halliday's?
I can't. It's just like the other times.
You've had previous occurrences of memory loss?
Yes, twice in the past 2 weeks. The first time, I found myself sitting on a bench in Hyde Park. The second time occurred a few days later. I was going to Lambeth Walk to get some information concerning a house where my sister and I were planning to stay for 2 weeks on a vacation away from the city. That was the last thing I remember until I woke up at Waterloo Station. I consulted my doctor, Dr. Mason, and he was quite puzzled. He prescribed rest.
Where did you acquire the pistol?
I've never seen it before, even though the police assured me that it was mine.
One last question. What is Gerald Locke to you?
Jerry is an old, dear friend. I'm afraid we've had a falling out of late. He said some very unkind words about Guy.
Edward Hall catches up to us on our way out. He tells us that he has asked Wilfred Robarts to take Miss Nolan's case.
He's young, but has already gained quite a reputation. Mark my words, he will be knighted someday.
Take her case as a lawyer.
Yeah, think so.
So, okay, let's hypnosis induce you. I'm thinking the Coco was drugged. I'm thinking Dr. Trevelyan, and I don't know why. Maybe drugged her because twice in the past 2 weeks they see him every Sunday evening, right?
Right. The first time was on a bench in Hyde Park. The second time occurred a few days later. If she only sees Trevelyan once a week, a few days isn't long enough between episodes.
How do you know that she doesn't? How do you know it wasn't a week and she's just saying it's a few days?
Okay, maybe. However, if you're saying it was the cocoa,
Yeah.
that's her maid, Grace. Prepared the cocoa.
And he left around 10 p.m.
Yeah. At 11, my maid Grace prepared a cup of cocoa for me. I drank it and read in bed for a short time, then went to sleep. So Trevelyan could be a person of interest, a person worth talking to.
I think he is.
But I think Grace might be more suspicious. The maid.
They first met at Cornelius Old Wine. Yeah, no. Don't care.
Hot chocolate might be the trigger,
Maybe.
says Sun Arcana.
Dr. Mason is her doctor, but he prescribed rest.
Yeah.
I doubt Wilfred Robarts knows much at this point. Not much more than we know.
Yeah, I don't know that visiting him's gonna help.
Grace and Trevelyan are the two people of interest for me out of that. The butler maid always does it.
Cornelia's Old Wine, Waterloo Station, Hyde Park, Lambeth Walk.
I mean, maybe Trevelyan and the maid are like in on it together. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Trevelyan or Grace? I'm probably gonna
What do you
talk to
guys
both of them.
think? If that were the case, then that would be underwhelming. Vice on Arcana. Clarion, not one hell of a butler or maid if that were the case.
I'm looking up Trevelyan. I think finding Grace is going to be going to
Her house.
her place, yeah. Trevelyan, Dr. Percy. 4 West Center. Well, we're not going to get much here.
God damn it.
Dr. Trevelyan's manservant greets us at the door, bedecked in apron and carrying a broom. As he tells us that Dr. Trevelyan is at his office, a street cat attempts to dodge into the house. With a swipe of the broom worthy of a professional cricketer, he sends the cat flying back into the street and meowing away. Why would the directory send us to his house for no reason?
Where the fuck is his practice? I'm not counting that.
I'm not either. 19 Southwest.
We just cheated. Went to the wrong place to find him.
Here we go. Dr. Trevelyan is an athletic-looking man, and everything about him, his movements and gestures, is very precise. His eyes are piercing and vivacious, and seem to read the depths of your soul.
Whoa.
It is
whoa,
ever
whoa,
so...
Whoa. Eyes. This is...
His eyes are piercing and vivacious.
Movements and gestures are... What is the word used?
Very precise.
Okay.
His eyes are piercing and vivacious and seem to read the depths of your soul. It is ever so slightly disturbing. He drops himself into the chair behind his desk, fiddles with his pocket watch, and asks how he can help us. We understand that you dined with Frances Nolan on the evening of July 1st.
Yes, that is correct. We dine every Sunday. Her sister Loretta has been under my care for some 10 years, first at the Mesmer Braid Institute and then in private practice. I met with Miss Frances weekly to keep her informed of her sister's progress. Let me say that it is difficult to believe that Miss Frances committed this deed. She has a quiet, unassuming personality. One might describe her, albeit unkindly, as mousy. An act of such direct confrontation would not be at all in keeping with her character.
Are she and her sister close?
They lead very different and separate lives. Miss Frances lives a quiet life, while Miss Loretta's is wild and flamboyant. Frances stays at home. Loretta never misses a party. Their individual laughs illustrate their differences.
Ah! Laugh.
Frances's is timid, no more than a titter. Loretta's laugh is deep
and resounding.
Yep.
Totally uninhibited. For her part, Miss Frances loves and cares for her sister as a parent would a child. Miss Loretta, well, she often seeks refuge with her sister and loves her as much as she's capable of love.
Thank you, Doctor.
Oh, fuck. Both girls. Yeah, deep laugh. Both of them are having a thing with a guy. Oh, shit. Betrayal. Betrayal.
Please don't stab me with a pen.
Sorry. Yeah, Loretta. I want to talk to Loretta.
That did not... I mean, Trevelyan seems clean. That really doesn't tell us what kind of doctor he is, which is what I was curious about.
I think Loretta's nuts. I think she's fucking crazy.
All right, you want to talk to Loretta, or you want to go talk to Grace? Possible we'll kill both at once here. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they lead separate lives. Do they live together?
They do not. Never mind. What do you think?
I don't know.
Loretta?
Loretta or Grace, you guys? Should we go talk to the maid who might have... Please don't stab me with a pen.
Let's get a little tunes going.
Should we...
A little bit of music.
I say Loretta. Okay. Because somehow I don't think... Or he's throwing us off. Yeah, somehow I don't think the maid would have been the person to poison her or whatever. And Loretta would have access to the house.
Let's go talk to Loretta.
Okay.
Loretta Nolan, 21 Southwest.
Oh, wait, also... He never said anything about Loretta leaving Guy's place.
He said she was a regular visitor.
Oh. I bet Loretta killed him.
You think?
I bet it's her.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. What is it?
21 Southwest. We're visiting Loretta.
She's pretty close to Trevelyan. Or the office.
Well, we don't know that.
Oh, that's true.
It could be. There's 21.
There's 19.
Oh, yeah, that is pretty close. And there's Halliday's.
Oh, hey.
About a 15-minute walk from
Oh,
Loretta's place.
hey. Yeah. All right.
All right, 21 Southwest. A man, dressed as if he had stepped from the pages of the Tales of Arabian Nights, curved scimitar and all, bars our entrance to Loretta Nolan's home. Only when it is established that we are not tradesmen collecting for goods or services are we allowed to pass. We enter the parlor to find Miss Loretta reclining on large silk pillows, clad in a costume similar to her servant. That is, a man's Arabian outfit. To add to the motif, long swatches of brightly colored material are draped about the room on red cords. By appearances, we might have entered a pasha's tent. P-A-S-H-A. I don't know what that is.
It's obviously something...
Something Arabian.
Arabian.
Okay.
Enter and be recognized.
She
Jesus.
commands, lifting her hand from the hookah on which she is puffing. Her head, excuse me, not hand. It must be our look of total disbelief which causes her to break out with peals of deep, unrestrained laughter. When we do not respond, except perhaps to shift from foot to foot to indicate our discomfort, her laugh abruptly dies and her mouth pauses in a pout.
Oh, you do not wish to play? Very well.
She is suddenly on her feet and flying around the room, whisking away the cloth. Plopping down in a chair that was hidden by the material, she tells us to state our business. You do not seem at all upset by Mr. Clarendon's death and your sister's arrest. She takes a long moment to answer, staring off into nothingness.
Guy was fun to be with. My sister, she is an innocent among the lions.
Before we can ask a question, she rises and calls her butler.
I believe I will be going out this evening, Randall.
She sweeps out of the room, leaving us standing alone. Pasha is actually a Turkish official or Ottoman during this time period. Thanks, guys.
Huh. Did she say that she's an innocent among lions?
Yeah.
The guy is fun to be with.
Why was she dressed
In a man's
in a
Arabian...
man's Arabian outfit? And she had her butler dressed as one, too.
You don't want to play. Is what she said.
Huh.
I think she's fucking nuts.
I don't know.
So she was definitely doing stuff with Guy, and she thinks her sister is innocent, but doesn't seem to care, so I think jealousy has made her not give a damn about her sister.
I don't know.
Or Guy, if she killed him. I think she's unhinged.
I don't know that she did kill him. I don't know. I don't think she did.
Fucking nuts.
What if Grace was the crazy one, asks RPG Gamer.
Possible.
I still kind of want to visit Grace.
Should we visit Grace?
I don't know, it might be nothing, but I don't feel like we're getting anywhere with anything else yet.
I want to know who the large man was that
I
fucking
do
Clarendon was scared of.
Should we go places that... Where would Guy have gone?
Oh, I already had these outlined. Porky Shinwell might have information about him if he really was a gambler and into card playing.
Yeah. You wanna go check him out? Our informant on the Underworld?
I think so.
Or that's not on the Underworld, that's on... Yeah, that's on the Underworld. We could also stand to go talk to Porlock about Moriarty.
Yeah, because of the Cabbie.
Yeah.
I know, this intense investigation music.
Yeah. We are not on a time limit, Weebasaurus Rex, but every lead that we investigate counts against our final score.
Yeah. We have to subtract
Basically,
points.
basically at the end of the whole, when we decide that we think we've solved it, we read Sherlock's solution. Well, first we answer 8 questions. The first series of questions are about the main case, and they total 100 points if we get them all right, which Sherlock will. And he'll get 100 points for that. The second series of questions are bonus questions that could be related to the main case, could be related to some of this superfluous information about other stuff.
So you're punished for red herrings. Got it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, the red herrings could potentially be asked about in the bonus questions,
Right.
which are worth like, what is it, 15 points apiece or something like that.
So they're not necessarily bad to go after. The other stuff,
Just
like
don't
the
wanna
red
focus
herrings.
on 'em.
Yeah, you just don't want to focus on them, which is why we're not focusing on the cab driver, because we think that that's meant to
Distract
us and send us off into Moriarty land. So
but basically, Sherlock will probably only investigate like 4 leads to solve the whole case. And for every lead that we investigate beyond the number that he investigated, we lose 5 points. So if we're trying to beat him, it has to be with bonus questions and with not a whole lot of investigation, really. What were we gonna do? Oh, we were talking about...
Porky Shinwell.
Okay.
Porky Shinwell, Grace, the maid.
Is there anything else that we might learn from Guy's stuff?
Batsman for the West London Cricketers. He was a fencer, drinker, gambler. I mean, Cox's is where his bank statement was from.
Okay, let's go visit Porky. 52 East Center.
Of course I knew Clarendon. He and his lady friend stopped in from time to time. They were usually on their way to Kilgore's gaming parlour or coming back from it.
Says Porky Shinwell. What's Kilgore's gaming parlour?
It's a nice little place down in the southeast, frequented by swells and toffs. The copper's been trying to close it down for years, but Kilgore knows when they come within 3 blocks. Clarendon was into him for a sizable sum, or so it was said. £7,000 was the figure I heard. Got to the point where Kilgore wouldn't allow him in his place. I understand Clarendon didn't take too kindly to that. Almost caused a row until Kilgore's right-hand man, Gus Bullock, stepped in. Clarendon backed down. I don't blame him none. Gus is a mean character, right enough. There's a joke about Gus. Somebody once said he'd like to see the customer who gave Gus that scar. He was told, so would the fellow's widow. Anyway, Kilgore made it clear that he expected the money, and there were bad feelings all around. Then maybe a month or so later, Clarendon shows up all smiles, and he and Kilgore getting on like brothers. Figure Clarendon must have paid him back. Then Calvin Leach steps into the picture.
Calvin.
Leach. Who's Calvin Leach?
Well, rumour has it that Leach deals in what you might call stolen property. Square dealer too. Give you 1/2 the value of the article. Now, Calvin Leach don't usually associate with the likes of Cloud Kilgore, but there it is. Leach, Kilgore and Clarendon meeting late at night, just as thick as fog. The meetings continued on, and right up until, well, the night before Clarendon's death.
Did these meetings take place at the Raven and Rat?
Well, won't say they did and won't say they didn't. Will say, though, everything I told you is as true as if it was written in a good book. Now, we be standing here jawing and I don't hear nobody ordering a pint or nothing. What'll it be?
So, Clarendon.
Turn the music down loud. Sorry, guys. Sorry,
Wait,
guys.
was just about to question if Loretta had something to do with the robbery since her Arabian guard mentioned something about keeping out debt collectors.
Did he mention keeping out debt collectors? I gotta go back and figure out where she was. Or, no, you have it.
21 Southwest.
21 Southwest. I thought he was trying to keep away salespeople. Tradesmen collecting for goods or services was what the doorman was trying to get rid of.
Tradesmen collecting for goods or
I think that's somebody trying to sell you something,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah. Thought he was keeping out door-to-door salesman, yeah.
Yeah.
So Clarendon died before he could get the money for the tiara, maybe?
Yeah, now I'm pretty much
Convinced.
he was the thief.
So Clarendon is the
So let's see.
thief.
Clarendon owed Kilgore 7,000 pounds. Until Gus stepped in, who was the guy.
Who he was afraid of, who came to visit him.
Yes.
The large man with the walrus mustache and the scar.
Kilgore made it clear that he expected the money and there were bad feelings all around. Then maybe a month or so later, Clarendon shows up, all smiles, and he and Kilgore are getting on like brothers. So he must have paid him back. Then Calvin Leach steps into the picture. Rumor has it he deals in what you might call stolen property. Square dealer, too, give you 1/2 the value of the article. Okay, so he owed Kilgore 7,000.
Yep.
He stole a total of 14,000 pounds worth of stuff.
Half of 14 is 7.
Yup.
Yup. So Clarendon paid Kilgore back by stealing jewelry and selling
What day is it? It's the
to
it's the
Leach.
4th of July. So he did the last
Math.
he did the last thieving on July 1st.
Mm-hmm. So why was so wait, the large man paid him a visit, right?
Yeah.
On the day he was killed?
No.
No, just on a day.
When where was the hotel?
Holidays? Oh crap. Oh wait, I know it's around here. 15 Southwest.
15 Southwest.
Yeah, when did Gus see him?
Let's see, he checked in on the 29th of May. The 1st of June is when Gus came to see him. Let me see that newspaper.
So that would have been he probably
On the 2nd of June, the first theft occurred.
yeah. So he probably took him and Leach was there.
Also
Yeah, that all checks out.
Also on the 1st of June, 5,000 pounds withdrawn. I bet I'd be willing to bet money when they left the hotel together, they went to Cox's to take out 5,000 pounds.
Even though he owed 7,000.
Yeah, he may not have had the rest yet. That's why he started stealing stuff. Oops.
Yeah, basically Clarendon steals, pawns it off to Leach, gets money, pays back Kilgore. Yeah, that's right.
So he starts stealing stuff.
And taking a little off the top, seeing the deposit.
He starts stealing stuff the next day. And if he's getting half what it's worth from his guy, he gets 1,000 in the first 2 thefts, another 1,000 in the next theft, which would put him all paid off.
Mm-hmm. He gets 500.
He gets 500 on the 11th, which who knows what he did with that money. Oh, wait.
No. And then
gets another 1,500
which
from the
puts
next
him
robbery, which
in
puts it at 2,000,
2,000.
which he deposited the next day.
Yep, that's all right. June 18th, he
June
would have gotten
17th,
500.
he would have gotten 500 and deposited
Boom,
that. Yeah.
you're right.
Absolutely.
Who said it, Jay? That he died before he could deposit the money for the diamond tiara.
So whoever said he was the thief, you're dead on. That's exactly
That's totally
what
correct.
happened.
So
I don't think we need to go to Cox's now.
no, we don't. No, I realized when this was listed, I was like, there were dates.
Yeah.
It has to do with each
Yeah,
other.
I just
It
wasn't
has
ready to get that connection yet because I was like, there aren't
But
enough
someone
dates.
killed him before he could get the tiara to Leech. Maybe another thief who wants the money. When did Loretta visit him? Just on a number of occasions. It doesn't say when.
Yeah. Just said she came a lot.
Does it say that the tiara has been confiscated?
No. Yeah, where is the tiara, I wonder? Everything else has been fenced, but the tiara...
And Leeds. It was stolen from Leeds. Whose Leeds again?
Go in, it's on the front of the newspaper. The victim of the latest theft, Lady Leeds, has become so overwrought by the invasion of her bedroom by this unknown man and by the loss of her prized diamond tiara that she has been hospitalized at the suggestion of her physician.
Physician, huh?
Although any impetus to attack the increasing problem of crime should be welcomed, it is unfortunate that impetus comes more strongly when the class of victims is expanded.
Okay.
Find the tiara, find Clarendon's murder. I think you might be right, Jay. Should we go talk to Lady Leeds? I don't know.
No. Loretta was dressed all rich like a Turkish high-rank person, right? Does Loretta have the tiara?
Did she have a tiara at her place? What was her address? 21 Southwest.
Yeah.
Got it. I feel like we would have noticed that if it had been mentioned. I don't see that, no. Not mentioned. We could visit Dr. Mason. Physician was mentioned for Lady Leeds.
Yeah, but I don't know what that would have to do with it.
Well, somebody's drugging Frances, right? Or hypnotizing her or something.
Yeah, something's happening to Frances. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And Trevelyan didn't seem like the person.
Somebody is framing Frances for Clarendon's murder.
Yeah. Oh. If it... Dr. Mason...
Where did we find out about Mason from?
Mason is Frances's...
Yeah, where did we hear about him from, though?
he prescribed rest for her memory loss.
Right.
And she's been
Her-
hospitalized at the suggestion of her physician,
Who did we find this information from? Is what I'm asking.
Francis.
From Francis
Yeah.
at Old Bailey, which was
I don't know.
don't know. Who does the hypnosis? I don't think anybody mentioned hypnosis except for Caitlin.
Yeah, no, nobody does. I don't think it's drugs. I think it's hypnosis. That seems like a weird detail to include without meaning. No. Yeah, hypnosis was never mentioned. I'm sorry. I came up with that, thinking that might be it. Hypnosis has never been mentioned in this stuff. That came from Caitlin's brain.
So we are looking for the stuff about Dr. Mason. I consulted my doctor, Dr. Mason, and he was quite puzzled. He prescribed rest. That's it.
Yeah. DJ Music Studio says, I say there's 3 people involved because there's 3 shoes. Clarendon.
Francis, and who else? What do you mean there are 3 shoes?
There were 3 shoes found in his closet. 3 pairs of shoes. How do we know they aren't all his, though?
Yeah, why wouldn't they all be his?
We can go back and look at Halliday's again.
Yeah.
And see if there's something specific about the shoes that was mentioned. 15 Southwest. Really quick.
Okay.
No, it doesn't. Says that there are 2 shirts and 3 pairs of shoes. One of them a pair of canvas fencing shoes dyed black. Yeah, no. I think they're all his.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Blame this on Loretta. Right now. She's way too guilty looking. She blew us off and ran away. Yeah, I think she's involved. I just don't know if she killed Clarendon.
So the guy that, the guy with the mustache and the scar, the big guy. What was his name? We learned it.
Guy Bullock. Or Gus Bullock.
Gus Bullock. Should we go talk to him? Possibly.
Maybe. Yeah, he might know where the tiara is.
Leech is another person we might want to talk to.
Ooh, because he's the one.
He's the one that's selling them.
I think we go talk to Leech.
Let's talk to Calvin Leech. "16 Southeast.
Oh my god. Fucking thing.
Well, not much here.
Fuck.
Wiggins, disguised to the point of being almost unrecognizable, meets us by pre-arrangement at the corner of Penton Place and Kennington Park Road. Leech is what Porky said he was, a dealer in stolen goods. He looked at me funny when I mentioned Clarendon, said he didn't know him.
So let's go talk to Gus.
Okay.
I don't care about beating Sherlock. I want to figure this out and not feel like an idiot at the end.
Yeah. Bullock. Bullock's not in here. Let's see. Oop. 52 East Center. Gus Bullock. Yeah, he's not in the directory.
Okay, just kidding. Then we found out everything we needed to know about him.
Huh.
Did
Okay.
Loretta know the person who owned the tiara? I mean, should we go talk to Lady Leeds?
Sure. Might as well. Well, crud, there are 2 leads. Oh, but one of them's only south, and there are no south addresses. So, Sir Sanford Leeds, 30 Southwest.
Wait, but she's
Wait,
at the hospital.
She's at the hospital. Well, we're gonna have to go to her house to find out which hospital, aren't we? Unless we just look up hospitals. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. It didn't say in the newspaper which hospital, did it? No.
This is 30 Southwest.
Why are we keying in so much on Loretta as having stolen the tiara? She doesn't have a tiara, as far as we know.
It's true. Did she maybe ask Clarendon to steal it for her? Maybe got revenge for him stealing friend's tiara?
Oh, I'm just sitting here thinking.
Why would she want the tiara?
Yeah, I'm not convinced that she's involved in the theft. Let's just go talk to Sanford Leeds or Lady
Also,
Leeds.
okay, wait. From Frances, though, she's the legal guardian for Loretta. Hiram Davenport is their solicitor.
Yeah.
Maid, Grace.
Do. You're trying to find a way to pin this on her. We need to be looking at facts, not at people we don't like. Can we go visit Leeds?
I mean, I know we also talked to Gerald Block in the case file, the original case file.
Yeah, we haven't visited him.
But we
him,
haven't
though.
visited him again.
You want to do that?
There was a falling out. I mean, would that be redundant to go back and visit him again?
I suspect it's going to be one of those things that only has information that would have been useful at the beginning. But I don't know. We can do that. We can look at him.
There's still something to me about...
Gerald Locke, 34 West Center.
Alright.
Yeah, there's nothing. Gerald Locke is not very helpful to our investigation. Not because he does not wish to be, but simply because he has no information to impart.
Great. Fuck.
Leeds? You don't want to visit her.
I mean... I just don't know what she's gonna have for us.
I don't either. But let's find out.
Okay.
30 Southwest. Sir Sanford Leeds expresses his hope that his wife's tiara will soon be recovered.
It is a valuable piece, to be sure, but more than that, my wife has been under a doctor's care since its theft, and just yesterday took up a room at St. George's Hospital. She is even more overwrought than when young Clarendon poured champagne down the bodice of her Paris original at the Richmond's party on the 20th past, which, come to think of it, was the last time she wore the tiara.
Where was the tiara kept?
In the bottom drawer of the bureau, under some of my wife's more frilly garments.
Were the signs of extensive search? Drawers left open? Were there signs of extensive search? Drawers left open? That sort of thing?
No, the burglar knew right where to look, it seems.
You were not at home, correct?
That's correct. My first night out since the Richmond's party. Down with the flu, what? Still not in top form, but couldn't miss the old regiment's annual wingding.
Thank you, Sir Sanford. We wish Lady Leeds a speedy recovery.
Recover the tiara and she'll come right around.
So, was that your ring?
Maybe.
Oh my god. So the 20th of June was the last time she wore it, right?
Yeah. Well, I think this is just to point suspicion at Clarendon as being the thief.
Right.
But we know where she is now,
right.
at St. George's Hospital, if we
Do you
want to
wanna
talk to
visit?
her. It may just further confirm
Whatever. I don't
him as the thief, but 57 Southwest. Oh, there's nothing. Lady Leeds' doctor tells us that his patient isn't in a state where she can speak to us. She is apparently very affected by the theft of her tiara and needs to rest.
Why the fuck is she so upset? It's a goddamn
yeah,
tiara.
I know. That's weird. Okay.
I say either Dr. Mason or Grace.
All right. Mason. Oh, wait. I'm going to look him up in doctor's offices. 29 West Center. We asked Dr. Mason if he could determine the cause of Frances Nolan's strange blackouts. I examined her thoroughly and found nothing physically wrong with her. She could not recall receiving a bump on the head. She did not complain of dizziness. I told her that perhaps she was just overtired and prescribed rest. It remains a complete mystery to me. The end.
God damn it.
All right, we're going to Frances's place to talk to Grace.
Goddamn Grace.
46 West Center. We talked to Miss Frances's maid, Grace, who tells us that on the evening of the 1st, Dr. Trevelyan was at the Nolan home until 10 o'clock.
After Dr. Trevelyan left, Miss Frances asked for a cup of cocoa, and I brought it to her. As I came up the stairs to retire, the light in Miss Frances's room went out. The hall clock below struck the half hour. That would be 11:30. I did wake up in the middle of the night. Actually, it was almost morning. I thought I heard something. I listened for a time, but heard nothing more and dozed off again. I arose at 7:30, completed my toilet by 8, and went downstairs to prepare Miss Frances's breakfast. No sooner was I in the kitchen than I heard the front door open and close. I saw Miss Frances walking down the street. I didn't know what to think when I heard the news, except not to believe it. Miss Frances wouldn't harm anyone, especially Mr. Clarendon.
Do you think I might be able to see her? I'd like to take her spectacles and a book or two. She's so fond of reading, you know. Oh, wait, that was the rest of her. Never mind.
Yeah, I was like, what?
All right, so Grace didn't do it.
Damn it, but she heard something in the middle of the night.
Yeah. What?
I don't know.
Okay. So what do we know so far? Clarendon. We know Clarendon was the thief.
Maybe
Stealing
she's just
stuff.
mental. Then it must either be the best friend or someone who knew the madam.
Do we have any other names of contacts of hers? I don't think we do. The lawyer. Hiram.
Davenport?
I mean, I don't know what he's gonna know, but...
Deals with their estate. Fuck it. We're already, like, way in, so... We could also try Fred Porlock about Moriarty. And 30 pieces
Let's
of
do that.
silver.
Let's do that. 18 Northwest. Huh. Not much, but Sam Parsons at Parsons and Son Toy Shop, which is where we get messages left from Fred, shows us a miniature hansom without a driver and says, "It came from you-know-who."
Miniature handsome.
A cab.
So Moriarty killed the cab driver.
I think you guys are getting confused. The tiara was stolen by Lady Leeds,
From.
or from Lady Leeds. Different person, not from Francis. Francis Nolan is a murder suspect that we are trying to exonerate because we don't think it was her. She's the one we think is in some sort of fugue state or something.
We tried getting information from Locke, but there's nothing else. He didn't give us anything.
Hey, I missed some shout-outs really quick. Simply Strider gave us 5 bits, thank you. Simply Strider gave us 5 more bits, thank you again. And Rocket O'Ponch subscribed. Welcome to Hacker Clan. Thanks. Hiram or Wilfred Robarts?
He's her lawyer. I mean, I don't know how much it's really going to help us.
Maybe he's already had a chance to talk to her and got some information that we didn't. I don't know.
I know the cab thing is... I mean, could we go to the carriage people and see who he was? Who the cab driver was?
Yeah, sure. 5 West Center. That's true. This is gonna be something too. This is gonna be related somehow. At the Central Carriage Stables, we inquire after the cabbie found stabbed to death a few nights before,
I never seen the like.
says an old duffer, shaking his head.
Kenny was right enough, fella, but kept pretty much to himself, he did.
What was his name?
Kenwood Olick.
What area did he work?
Kenwood.
Kenward Olick.
Okay.
Oh, down around the tower mostly. George Street, down in there.
A woman is definitely involved, because the thief knew exactly where a lady would hide it. It's also possible that Lady Leeds had a conversation with Clarendon and let him know, but... No, you're probably right, DJ Music Studio.
St. George.
St. George Drive.
Is that where he said he worked? By the tower?
Yeah, by the... Down around the tower mostly. George Street, down in there.
Where's the tower? What tower? Like Big Ben?
I don't know. No, the Tower of London, probably.
Oh, the tower. Tower of London is all the way the fuck over there.
George Street. Tower Street.
Meh.
So that's around where he was working. Kenward Olick. Should we go talk to whoever's at his house?
You could.
Learn a little bit more about this cabbie?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Loretta, at the end of talking to us, said to her butler, I'm gonna go out tonight. Or I think I'm going out tonight.
Yes. What's your point?
Oh no, Guy would have been dead. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Okay,
We know she was messing around with him, yeah, for sure. Oleg?
yeah, let's go see what we can learn about Oleg. 15 Southeast.
I think we should go see Hiram Davenport.
We find Kenwood Oleg's widow doing laundry. She is a hard-faced woman who looks older than her years. She refuses to talk to us, nor will her neighbors. In fact, we can find out nothing about Oleg, which might help us in tracking down his killer. Well, poop. My guess is Loretta gets Frances hypnotized to frame her, collaborates with the doctor, and knows how to orchestrate it to frame her using Guy Clarendon. That's my wild guess. I don't see anything in the evidence we have to indicate that Loretta or either of the doctors is involved. Not yet.
Yeah, hypnosis is not part of the evidence.
Okay, so you wanted to go talk to Hiram?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Davenport. 1 Northwest. Oh, come on. No, I'm not counting that. He's not a barrister, he's a solicitor. 13 West Center. There we go. After waiting nearly 2 hours, we are finally shown in to Hiram Davenport's office. He apologizes for the delay with a somewhat suspect sincerity, and we take our seats and ask our questions. Yes, I am Frances's solicitor, and Loretta's too, although I am less help in that direction since she came of age. You handled their father's estate? That's correct. Their father left them equal shares in his 1/3 share of the Aberdeen Navigation Company. I administered that bequest in the form of a trust fund until each girl came of age. Since then, I have tried to do my best to advise them. With 1/6 of a share of Aberdeen Navigation Company, they must be very wealthy. Frances is, to be sure, but Loretta saw fit, much against my advice, I might add, to liquidate her stock. I'm afraid her financial situation is not all it could be. When was the last time you saw Miss Nolan? He seems lost in his thoughts for a moment. Then he says, Well, I met Miss Frances last month. She was in the company of Dr. Trevelyan, the doctor of Miss Loretta.
Miss Frances wanted him to become her sister's guardian if anything were to happen to her. Miss Frances seemed absent-minded. Her eyes were staring off in the distance. I thought it odd at the time, but when I learned that she blacked out later that day, I assumed she had sunstroke.
Would you describe the meeting?
We were in the middle of our discussion when I was called away on other important business. I begged their indulgence and stepped out of the office. I was gone, 20 minutes. When I got back, Miss Frances had a very strange look in her eyes, said thank you very much, nice to see you again, or something to that effect, and left.
Okay, that casts some shade on Trevelyan for me.
Yeah.
What was Trevelyan's address?
19 Southwest.
Thank you. I just want to go review that one really quick. Athletic-looking man, very precise movements and gestures, piercing and vivacious eyes that seem to read the depths of your soul.
Loretta needs money, is what Jay's saying.
I am not seeing anything in the encounter with Trevelyan to make him suspicious.
Fiddles with his pocket watch.
Where'd you see that?
He drops himself into the chair behind his desk, fiddles with his pocket watch, and asks how he can help us.
Huh. Okay, maybe. Maybe.
It is ever so slightly disturbing.
His eyes.
His eyes are piercing and vivacious and seem to read the depths of your soul. That's quite a description.
Yeah. So...
Work with a thief she's sleeping with to steal things, kill him after he makes a big steal, keeps all the money for herself. Dr. Trevelyan would know how to break into the house, which the maid heard something in the night.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, Frances goes,
So we're thinking possibly Trevelyan broke in
yeah.
the middle of the night to hypnotize Frances?
Should double check how Frances describes her blackouts and if she remembers the custody thing.
We can't like learn new information from Frances. It's the same place, same text to go read from her. How did Frances get into the state of blackout? We don't know. Oops, bumped the camera a little bit. It actually does sound like hypnosis. Yeah, it does.
But didn't she talk about buying a house that day or something? Yeah, she did.
Oh, she did.
Go back.
Old Bailey.
Old Bailey. Fuck.
Didn't write that down?
Of course not.
I got it. Police. 36 East Center. Okay, 36 East Center. You've had previous occurrences of memory loss. Yes, twice in the past 2 weeks. The first time I found myself sitting on a bench in Hyde Park. The second time occurred a few days later. I was going to Lambeth Walk to get some information concerning a house where my sister and I were planning to stay for 2 weeks on a vacation away from the city. That was the last thing I remember until I woke up at Waterloo Station. No. I am the legal guardian of Loretta. In case something happens to me, our solicitor, Hiram Davenport, will manage our affairs as it was when we were children. Huh.
Where is Francis's home?
Francis's home is,
I didn't write where we saw the maid.
46 West Center.
West
somewhere.
Center?
Yeah. Right there.
Fuck. Okay.
Hyde Park is a little ways away.
Yeah, it is.
Waterloo Station is
I don't know.
right here.
Jesus.
So that's a ways away too. Okay.
I don't know. So Francis goes about the house inquiry, finds out about Loretta, gets hypnotized, then set up and finds herself committing a murder she didn't commit.
Does Loretta know the doctor? Could she have convinced him to hypnotize Francis to be framed? Dr. Trevelyan is Loretta's doctor. And he was fiddling with a pocket watch. So the chat seems to think Loretta and the doctor conspired to hypnotize Francis.
But why?
I don't know. Are you looking at old newspapers
Yeah,
now?
I'm just seeing if there's anything.
I wonder what Kenward Olick, the cab driver, did to Moriarty.
Loretta uses the doctor to make Frances hypnotized into committing murder to get rid of her connection to
Clarendon.
Clarendon and keep the money, the tiara, so she can keep up her rich lifestyle. Uses the doctor, though. Francis has all the money, but why? How does she use the doctor? Like, how does he allow him? What does the doctor get out of it? I get Loretta's motive, but what's the doctor's?
I met Miss Francis last month. She was in the company of Dr. Trevelyan. Miss Francis wanted him to become her sister's guardian if anything were to happen to her. Miss Francis seemed absent-minded. Her eyes were staring off in the distance. I thought it odd at the time, but when I learned that she blacked out later that day,
Yeah,
I
he
assumed
totally-
she had sunstroke.
Yeah, he totally hypnotized
So he
her.
hypnotized her into taking over Loretta's estate. Should anything happen to Francis.
Yeah. Okay.
So Trevelyan is absolutely guilty, I think.
Yeah.
Trevelyan hypnotized Francis into going and killing Clarendon?
Yeah, I guess. But did she?
Why,
kill
though?
him?
What in the world is the connection from Trevelyan to Clarendon?
Loretta.
Loretta.
Loretta
That's
is
what the chat is
sleeping-
thinking.
Loretta is sleeping with Clarendon.
Right.
Clarendon is not really into Francis. Clarendon is into Loretta.
Yeah.
Clarendon wants Francis's money. If anything happens to Francis, Loretta gets her money.
Yeah.
Trevelyan, I have no idea. The doctor, he's Loretta's doctor. Francis is Guy's fiance. If she marries him, doesn't he get... No, it's, wait, if she marries him, doesn't he get the fortune? I guess. But it could be like love, though. Maybe he loves Loretta and he doesn't want to marry Francis. He wants to get Francis out of the way.
Well, Clarendon is doing stuff for money right now. He's stealing stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe Loretta finds out that he's stealing stuff. So she decides to take the tiara and frame her sister for murder. Why would she do that, though?
Because they're not close. Loretta might not want to kill her sister to get money, but have her arrested does the same thing. They weren't close.
Yeah.
And whoever said the thing about that Loretta loved her sister only as far as she could love someone. And they were gonna go stay in a house for 2 weeks together, but didn't, obviously. What was that about?
I don't know. Damn it, where was old Bailey?
Oh, but what is the murder for? Yeah, why is Guy killed then? Because Loretta actually wants Trevelyan?
Sorry, what were you asking me about before I came here? Something about...
They were gonna go for 2 weeks. She was looking at a house for them to go away for 2
To
weeks.
get some information concerning a house where my sister and I were planning to stay for 2 weeks on a vacation away from the city. That was only 2 weeks ago, so they were still they're planning on a vacation that is yet to come.
Framing her sister for the murder gets her money, and selling the tiara gets the money from that too, to hold her over until she gets Francis's inheritance. Right, but then why? Dr. T lied about Loretta caring about her sister as a setup for Loretta to look innocent. Right. Okay. But then why kill Clarendon?
I don't know. I don't know why Clarendon was murdered. Should we go talk to Sherlock?
Yeah.
See if we can get a hint from him?
Loretta has a legal guardian, right? Yeah. Trevelyan.
No, the legal guardian is Francis. Trevelyan has set himself up as the replacement legal guardian.
Right. Yeah. Totally. Alright, we're gonna talk to Sherlock.
Nothing seems to be able to pull Holmes out of the melancholic mood in which he was left in which he was when we left. I've much to do before nightfall, Wiggins. I won't be able to spare you much time. The first thing to do is verify Miss Frances Nolan's version of the facts. Mr. Locke's attitude clearly involves jealousy towards Clarendon. If Miss Nolan is in love with Clarendon, it seems completely absurd for her to kill him. If she didn't pull the trigger, then who did? An examination of the crime scene could surely give you clues. Don't hesitate to make a sketch of the scene. It often helps in thinking. And of course there's the question of the motive. No. And of course there's the question of the motive. Who would want to eliminate Clarendon and Francis at the same time? As it's of course the death sentence that awaits Miss Nolan for her so-called crime. It's all I can give you for leads at the moment, gentlemen. Now I'll have to let you go, as urgent business awaits me.
Well, Loretta was sure not in love with Clarendon because she was just like, he was fun to be with. So, if Loretta wants all of the money from the tiara and to cover up that she is in it with Clarendon, she has him killed to cut ties and get the tiara too. Okay.
So, we think...
So the doctor is
We're thinking that Loretta is the one that wanted to get rid of them both.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, the case is called The Mystified Murderess. Oh, no, that would be
Yeah, that's Francis. I'm not convinced that it is that it is Loretta, but I don't know who else has reason.
Well, Sherlock said an examination of the crime scene. Which one
we
of the...
did.
Did we? Did we...
Yeah, we went to the hotel.
Yeah. H.R. Murray would be the criminologist. He analyzes all items and substances found during cases.
So he'll be looking at the gun.
Sir Jasper Meeks is the head medical examiner. You could tell us about...
How he died,
Yeah.
where he was shot.
Yeah.
All right,
Why not?
hell with it. We're getting overly thorough, but I want to know the answer.
I know, I want to know the answer. We're not going to win, by the way.
At Bart's, Sir Jasper Meeks tells us that Clarendon was shot at very close range with a small caliber pistol.
I received the body at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I would judge that he'd been dead anywhere from 4 to 10 hours.
That's quite a range.
Okay.
That's it from
Whatever.
him.
Okay. Murray?
Murray. Entering his laboratory, we are initially unable to locate H.R. Murray and his maze of chemical paraphernalia, file cabinets, and boxes, until Wiggins notices a faint snore coming from the far corner. We walk over and find him hunched on his desk, asleep with a pile of criminal reports and chemistry notes as a pillow. Wiggins taps him on the shoulder. He jerks upright, and his white hair and the white papers mingle in a temporary flurry around his head.
Hello? What? Why, where? Yes. It's you, Higgins. I must have dozed off. What are you up to today?
It's Wiggins, sir, and we're looking into the Clarendon murder.
Clarendon? I had just finished that report when I fell asleep. Let's see, number 301. 301.
He rummages through his pile of papers, although we wonder how a report he'd just written could be anywhere but on top.
Ah, here it is. 301, Clarendon Guy. Not much, I'm afraid. A hole in the shirt where a small caliber buffet passed into the body. Extensive blood powder burns, indicating a close-range shot. Ah, here is something interesting. On the lower part of the shirt, I found traces of alcohol. Wine, to be exact. I have a good nose, and I believe it was an inferior quality Italian red. I was in Italy in...
We tiptoe off and miss his lecture on the chemical qualities of finer wines.
Well, there was a shattered wine glass.
Were we not led to believe that Francis was the one who dropped the wine glass?
But I don't feel like the wine glass was... Go back to the crime scene at Halliday's,
Okay.
because I want to know where the wine glass was.
Can you remind me what the address was? Oh, wait.
15
No,
Southwest.
It's right here. You wanted to know what?
Where the wine glass was.
Let's see. I found the body of Mr. Clarendon and the aforementioned woman. She was lying in a swoon in the center of the room with a smoking pistol in her hand. I revived her with some whiskey found in the room. When she came to, she was totally disoriented. She had no idea where she was or what she had done. When she saw Clarendon's body, she gave out a small cry and let go of her pistol as if it were red hot. I took her to a nearby vacant room and had the police summoned. We go to the room.
The ceiling is covered with yellow plaster, and there was yellow. Okay, right.
Yeah. There's blood on the carpet. A larger stain had apparently been made by the spilled contents of a shattered wine glass lying nearby. In the center of the sitting room, some 15 feet away, are small flecks of yellow plaster.
So I think that Frances did kill him. She just
She
didn't
was
mean-
hypnotized
yeah,
when she did
just
it.
didn't mean to.
I think so too.
I don't think Loretta was in the room. I don't know though. The doctor would also benefit from being Loretta's guardian to get a piece of the inheritance. Yeah, I think Loretta and Trevelyan are
In
on
this
it.
together.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I guess.
Money.
Yeah.
Money, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're ready to answer.
Yeah?
I don't know what else we're gonna get, Kyle.
All right.
I mean, I know she screamed before the gunshot went off. Maybe something in the drink triggered her hypnotic programming. Maybe Frances was trained enough to be triggered easily to hypnotize. Maybe she saw... Maybe Loretta was there with Guy.
Can't see. All right. I'm going to suggest we take a poll. Who's ready to bring this evening to a close and see if we know the answer? And who thinks we need to continue investigating things? I'm just not sure where we would go at this point.
Dude, I have no clue where we would go.
Maybe the gun shop? The used gun place?
Sure. All right.
What was the...
28 King Street, Covent Garden was all it said.
Wasn't there a name for the gun place in the article? Is this the current newspaper?
No. There it
It's
is.
this one. Oh, hey, the poll overlay's not working. That's awesome.
Fun.
Oh, wait, there it is. There it is. There comes the poll overlay. Perfect. Secondhand sporting guns. S. Goff. Main Street, Covent Garden. That guy's not in the directory. Gunsmiths. Oh, S. Goff, 28 West Center. Oh, I didn't see. Who won? Yes. Yes won with 4 votes.
Nothing.
20. Was it 28 West Center? Is that what I said?
That's what you said.
Okay.
So that's not a thing.
That's not a thing.
All right.
All right. Well, the poll
We think we know.
was yes, so we're gonna go ahead and solve. Questions. This point, there is no turning back. Once we know the questions, we can't go back looking for more answers. First series of questions. There are 5 of them. 1. Who killed Guy Clarendon?
Frances did.
Frances did it.
But she was hypnotized by Dr. Trevelyan, who was scheming with Loretta, her sister.
That is going to be the answer to question number 3.
Oh, okay.
So who killed Guy Clarendon? Frances. Question 2. Why was he murdered?
He was being used by Loretta to get money, because she needs money. And he was the jewel thief.
Money and tiara.
Yeah.
I think it was more to get rid of Frances than it was to get rid of Clarendon. But it was also because Loretta didn't want to be with him
Right.
anymore.
Right.
Why did Frances Nolan go to Halliday's is question number 3. She was hypnotized by Dr. Trevelyan.
Yep. To go and kill Clarendon.
Yeah. 4. Who was the society burglar?
And Guy was killed to cover up her ties.
Yeah.
Society burglar was Guy Clarendon.
4. Who was the society burglar? Clarendon was. 5. Who is Calvin Leach? He's the fence that sold the stuff.
Yeah. He's the guy that was that
Why is that in the first series of questions?
I don't know, that Clarendon was selling
Yeah,
the money
Clarendon
to.
was selling the stolen
or
stuff
the
to
stolen
Calvin
stuff
Leach.
to get the money to pay back Kilgore.
Second series of questions. Who killed Klaus Wallenden and how? That was the tightrope walker. We didn't investigate that. We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know the answer to that one. We didn't think that was worth looking into. 7. In which neighborhood did Kenward Olick work?
Oh, in we do know
the
that.
Tower.
The
Tower
Tower.
of London.
Yeah. On George Street.
So I guess to be
Yay.
in terms of the game, that's East Center.
Mm-hmm.
Question number 8. How did Kilgore manage to evade the police vigilance? Oh, we don't know. Remember when we talked to Pollock or whatever his name is? Not Pollock. Porlock. When we went and talked to Porlock, or not Porlock, Porky Shinwell.
Yeah.
We went and talked to him. He was talking about how the police have been trying to bust down Kilgore's place,
Right.
but he always knew they were coming 3 blocks ahead of time or something. I don't know. We didn't look into it.
No, we didn't. I mean, where's Kilgore's gaming parlor? Oh, we can't look at that now.
No. I don't know.
Clearly somebody would tip him off.
Yeah, but I don't know who.
Okay, well, we're not getting any of that. Oh, except for we did get one.
We'll get one of those bonus questions. I think we got all 5 of the first series. We'll find out.
Yep.
We easily got 4 of them, I think. The only one I'm not sure about is the why.
Yeah.
All right. On to
Yes.
Sherlock solutions. We are at 221B trying to sort out a solution when Holmes enters the apartment. His appearance is startling. His cap is gone, his trousers are spattered with mud, and his jacket is ripped. Even more disturbing is the stark look of defeat in his eyes. Without a word, he shuffles over to the basin to splash his grimy face with water.
Holmes,
Says Watson softly.
we're having a devil of a time with this case. Could you help us out?
Holmes stiffens, then after a moment lets out a long sigh. As he turns back to us, his features soften until a faint trace of a smile plays at the corners of his mouth. Of course, Watson, he says, matching Watson's subdued tone. How can I be of service to you? For the next 20 minutes, Watson acquaints Holmes with the facts of Guy Clarendon's murder by taking him on a verbal tour of our visits around the city. When Watson is finished, Holmes takes the floor. Excellent, Watson. You have managed to solve 2 cases for Scotland Yard, though I doubt Lestrade will consider himself in your debt.
I have?
Yes, indeed. Clarendon is £7,000 in debt to the gambler Kilgore. Unfortunately, he is out of pocket and in his father's bad graces. Kilgore's confederate, the dangerous Gus Bullock, is seen hanging about the Clarendon home, and the younger Clarendon is roughed up. To solve his problem, Clarendon turns to burglary. His victims are to be members of his own class, whose social comings and goings he knows well, and whose homes he has visited. He acquires a black sweater and black trousers, dyes a pair of canvas fencing shoes, and decides that he needs a base of operations. It may well have been Bullock's lurking presence that spawned his desire to secret himself away. In any case, he chooses Halliday's. Clarendon arrives at Halliday's and takes a day to look the place over. Significantly, he switches rooms to one in the back part of the hotel with a vine-covered trellis conveniently leading to the bedroom window. Now, on the 1st of June, Bullock, having discovered Clarendon's elegant hideaway, confronts him in the lobby. The £5,000 is withdrawn and makes its way to Kilgore against the debt. That evening, the society burglar strikes for the first time. Clarendon, Kilgore, and Calvin Leach, a known trafficker in stolen goods, are seen in company. Notice, if you will, that 1/2 the value of the first 3 society thefts amounts to £2,000, 1/2 of the value being the price normally paid by Leach for stolen goods, and equals the balance of Clarendon's debt to Kilgore. Debt-free, Clarendon is now in a position to make money on his own, as his succeeding bank transactions evidence. On the day after each of the next 3 burglaries, Clarendon made deposits. The pattern of the burglaries is obvious. Clarendon would pick his target, select the night, and contact Leach. That evening he would enter Halliday's well before 10 o'clock in order to establish his alibi, change into his working clothes, and exit down the trellis. The burglary accomplished, he would return, change again, and meet with Leach. After that, he would deposit his take. The pattern was interrupted on the night of July 1st, the night of the theft of the diamond tiara. Loretta Nolan, a long-time accomplice of Clarendon in various nefarious misdeeds, was aware of the burglaries, and quite probably took part in them. Her recognizable laugh revealed her presence at Halliday's. A short time after the 5th burglary, 2 thefts were planned. One, thought up by Clarendon, concerned the theft of the tiara. The other was planned by Dr. Trevelyan. Indeed, the good doctor, who has been taking... Oh, wait, quotes changed. Yeah, it's definitely still him. Indeed, the good doctor, who has been taking care of Loretta for years through hypnosis, has also learned of the dark behavior of Clarendon during a séance with his patient. He saw there the chance to get rid of a bothersome rival who risks getting his hands on Francis's fortune, which he also wants for himself. On the night of July 1st, he entered Clarendon's bedroom by the trellis, armed with a derringer, and awaited his return. Clarendon came back from his night work, and while he was pouring himself a glass of wine to celebrate the event, Trevelyan killed him and used the occasion to take the loot from the last theft, the tiara. During the night, he then went to visit Frances. Knowing perfectly the technique, and thanks to the drugs he administered to her under the pretense of giving her a sedative, he hypnotized her. He ordered her to go into Clarendon's bedroom with the derringer and fire into the ceiling. Should have known that had something to do with it.
Damn it!
Damn. With Clarendon removed and Frances getting a death sentence, the fortune of the latter was naturally destined to Loretta. It would have been child's play for Trevelyan to profit from the mental weakness of Loretta to bilk her out of her money, even more so since Clarendon was no longer there to push her into costly extravagances. If you would please let Lestrade know, I'm sure you'll find Dr. Trevelyan still in possession of the tiara. Holmes sighs deeply and appears suddenly weary. The spark of energy and interest ignited by Watson's plea for help is all but extinguished. He sits a moment in silence, looking down at his own tattered appearance. No doubt his failure to solve the Cabbie's murder preys upon his mind. Finally, he starts toward his room, mumbling, "I believe I will clean up now." At the doorway, he stops and whispers, "Watson, the needle." Holmes solved this case by following 5 leads: Halliday's Hotel, Old Bailey Criminal Court, Dr. Trevelyan, Hiram Davenport's office, and Porky Shinwell. He also used the following article from the newspaper: Society burglar, take climbs to 14,000 pounds. His score is 100 points.
So Trevelyan was the murderer, yeah. And he framed...
Now we take our own score. The answer to question number 1, who killed Guy Clarendon? Dr. Trevelyan. We did not get those 20 points. Question number 2, why was he murdered? For the money of Frances and Loretta Nolan. Yeah,
we got that.
we got that.
20
points. Question number 3, why did Frances Nolan go to Halliday's? 3, she was mesmerized or hypnotized by Dr. Trevelyan. 20
Yeah.
points.
So that's 40.
Question number 4, who was the society burglar? Guy Clarendon.
Yep.
20 points. Question number 5, who is Calvin Leach, the fence who bought Clarendon's stolen goods? 20 points.
80.
We got 80 out of the first series.
Great.
Question number 6, who killed Klaus Wallenden and how? Albrecht Hube substituted soap flakes for the rosin in the box,
Nope.
whatever. In which neighborhood did Kenward Olick work? Question number 7,
Yep.
in the Tower of London neighborhood.
So we got 85.
We got 5 points for that one. And question number 8, how did Kilgore manage to evade the police vigilance? Inspector Herberts from Scotland Yard warned him of police raids for 10 points. Had we visited Scotland Yard, we probably would have known that one. Okay, so 85 points minus 5 for each lead we visited that goes beyond the 5 that Holmes used.
We technically visited 18 leads.
18?
Yeah.
So 13 times 5 is, I don't know, a lot?
A lot. We lost. We lost by a lot.
That's 65 points. We got 20 points.
20 points! We told you. I mean, look at my notes. This is insane.
60. Oh, it's 75? 13 times 5. 15. No.
Dude, it doesn't matter. We lost.
No, it's 65.
We lost by a lot.
Still. 20 points.
So that's that game.
All right.
How'd you guys like it?
We had a small but dedicated crowd watching
We did.
tonight. Which does not surprise me when we're playing a board game. That you kind of need to be there for the whole thing to be able to follow.
I actually played this game.
Okay, let's put these in that order.
That was rough, but entertaining.
Was happy to hear you two were playing it. I couldn't participate much, really. Oh, I'm sorry, Delta. Is that because you were busy taking notes?
I know. Look at these fucking notes, right? Oh. Insane.
It's because you knew the answer. Oh, so you've... Oh, that's
She's
what you mean
played
by
it.
you've played this. You've played this game before. I gotcha.
Yeah.
How'd you do, Delta? I'm curious. If you've played it before, how'd you do on this case? Do you remember?
I'm triggered with a violin.
Heavy bucks. Would I recommend this? Well, at this point, if you guys watched this whole stream, you know the answer to case number 3. Which is gonna mean you have... You
I
did
did
terrible,
terrible.
horrible. It was you and 5 others, and you did bad. Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, we did better on this case than we did on our last one
Yes.
by a lot.
Yes. Well, our last one, we kept it down to like 8 leads.
Yeah, and we were.
And basically solved 2 bonus questions and none of the main ones. Because we got so hung up on one of the bonuses.
Yeah.
That's case 2, that's case
Do
1.
we own Arkham Horror? Yeah, I think we do.
It's actually James's, but I think he left it here.
Oh.
And I can't handle that game.
Wow, I lost something green, thanks. If I got murdered, I'd totally trust you guys to solve it. I'm gonna pick up on most of this stuff so I can see myself playing on the... Oh, playing the game if you want to, kind of.
I'm not sure how many rounds of this game I want to bring to Twitch, simply because of the fact that if people are interested in playing this game for
Yeah,
themselves,
we're gonna fuck it up.
we're gonna completely spoil 8/10 of the game if we do all of our cases on Twitch. I don't know.
We won't do all. I mean,
We might do a couple more.
seriously, Kyle, I don't think anybody's gonna be like... I don't know.
I don't have any friends, so this is the only way I'll experience the game.
I would love to do more of this sometime. I don't know what just happened. When do you guys stream? I'm new. When we feel like it.
Yeah, basically.
Man, this background music, victory music. Yeah, we're scoring this entire thing.
We're kind of victorious, I guess.
Wow, you are so harsh. We got a lot of this right.
We did. We got a lot right. So, thus concludes...
It's all good. You didn't need to invest all of your attention. I mean, we hope that this was like fun and entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, usually you're just watching us play video games, which is fine, too.
Yeah.
But we just wanted to, like, I don't know. share something with you guys that we like to do.
Yeah.
So,
It was fun for us, anyway.
yeah.
I hope you guys had fun.
I like puzzles.
Yes.
So I like escape rooms. And I mean, you guys know if you've been on this stream, Kyle tries to find fun things for me to do.
Yes.
Which involve.
For Caitlin to participate.
Yeah.
So if you guys have suggestions for video games along these lines, let me know. Stuff that I can show Caitlin.
Yeah.
On stream.
I like this tranquility. I do too. I kind of like just like figuring out shit. You
Felt way more involved than with other streams. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you guys can actually, I loved having your suggestions and input. I think it totally helped us. I like puzzling out with Felix since she doesn't always enjoy action. Aw. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I could get into that too, but I don't know. I guess I feel like
Is your phone ringing?
definitely it's Josh. I'm gonna pick it up.
Well, yeah, you go ahead and answer that. I'll do the sign
Hello.
off. So
Hang on just 1 second. Bye, stream people. I have to go talk to my friend now. Goodbye.
how about the Life is Strange games? Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. So I don't know how that was for you guys. It was a lot of fun for us. We appreciate you guys assisting us in our detective work. I think we got pretty close. We got pretty close to solving everything. I feel like we can claim that as a victory. I appreciate all of you, and I thank you all so much. Let me see. I think I missed one shout out for DJ Music Studio, who resubscribed for an 8th month. Said thanks for the amazing time. Had such a blast. Fun, crafty fun. Thank you so much. #HackClanFam. Thanks so much. So this begs the question if we can send you weird board games, I guess. Oh man. I don't know if that's really a great idea. We do have a P.O. box, but I don't know. There's no guarantee that I would be able to play any of them on Twitch or anything. I am a big, avid board game lover. I have a whole, I have this thing called Bitbox that is a condensed version of storage for board games, which is really great for space. It's not so great for time, because whenever I need to get into my board games, finding all of the different bits and pieces can sometimes be a little bit challenging. Something I got on Kickstarter, and I have a huge collection of board games. Most of them are party style games because we have game nights every couple of weeks with some friends of ours, who then it's a different group of people that come over and we play all sorts of games that are usually playable with like 8 people or so on average, and usually games that are pretty quick to play through, like 15-minute rounds or so. Not mystery-related board game, but have you tried the Dark Souls one? I've not. I've not played Dark Souls, the video game, either. So, anyway, that was a tangent. What else can I plug before I pop off here for the night? Let's see. On the 24th, for those of you who missed the announcement, Sea of Thieves, well, on the 20th, Sea of Thieves, the MMO pirate game that I played last week when it was doing a scale test weekend, it's released on the 20th. Myself and that group of guys have all pre-ordered the game. We're all planning on playing it. And on the 24th, which is a Saturday, not this coming Saturday, but the one after that, we are going to role play in costume and do a multi-Twitch broadcast. So you'll be able to tune in to see all 4 of us playing the game together in character and in costume. It's going to be a lot of fun. So hope you guys look forward to that. That is a scheduled broadcast. There is probably likely to be at least one more between now and then. I would like to pick up Fire Emblem Echoes again and get closer to finishing that. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to try and pick up Original Nier again as well. But Sea of Thieves is going to be taking up a good chunk of my hobby time, because it's a lot of fun. It's a pretty simple game for as much money as it costs, but it's surprisingly entertaining. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm really looking forward to the role-playing stream. If it works out, we'll probably do them on a regular basis, but we'll see how well it goes. Alas, I will not be able to be there as I now work weekends. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Jay. You'll have to catch it after the fact. How far was I into Fire Emblem Echoes? I was late in Chapter 4. Late in Act 4. I'm pretty close to the end. I think that's right, JoJo. I was about to go into Duma's Tower. So, we're pretty close. I think we have like 2 fights left in Act 4 or something like that. I'm not positive. We're pretty close. So we'll get back to that soonish. I'll have to see how the week goes in terms of my audiobook work and other stuff. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be leaving town for the weekend, this coming weekend, or this next weekend. Because I need, it's a thing. It's a family thing. That I'm pretty sure I'm going to be going out of town for. So if I'm doing another stream, it won't be on the weekend. It'll be sometime between then. Get your improv on, Kyle. It's a really fun exercise, and RPing is awesome. Yeah, thank you. Wait. The real question is, what is your pirate name? My pirate's name, first of all, he's not a pirate. But my character's name for the RP stream that's coming up in a couple weeks is Reginald Bartholomew Parsley III. That is my character's name. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. I will see you all then, I hope. And between now and then, at some point, I will let you all know as soon as I do when I'll be able to broadcast for a Fire Emblem stream. That will likely be kind of like this stream was, where I kind of post on the day of to say, hey, we're going to be live later tonight or something like that. Yeah. Reginald Bartholomew Parsley III. That is my character's name. So I'll give you that much information. And I can tell you that I tweeted a picture of myself in costume the other day. So you can see that as well. And that's all the more teasing I'm going to do before the 24th broadcast. And that'll probably be the first time I do a Sea of Thieves broadcast after release. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you all so much for the fun. Sherlock Holmes, Consulting Detective, was the game tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know Caitlin and I did. And we are probably going to be back with more of this at some point. We're not going to do all 7 of the remaining cases because I want to leave something for you guys to explore with your own friends, should you choose to pick up a copy of the game. But we'll do probably 2 or 3 more, maybe 5 or 4 more or something like that. No more than that. No more than half of what's in the game. And there's an expansion too that we'll probably pick up at some point. Anyway, thank you all so much. I will see you all next time. Good night, everybody.